Felicitations, my family of fledglings. And ghosts. It's so good to unsee you as well. I'm Damien Holme, professional disruptor of the status quo. Breaker, freer of minds caught in a rut. And poster of Hello Kara, first champion of the night. Please defend us all from all the awful things out there. If only you could. Welcome on in. Man, the past couple days have been a whirlwind. So Oz's mom is in town for a week or so, and it's been nice to have an extra pair of hands on deck. But I think a part of me has recognized that there is help and that there is a social shift toward more people around us, like us. And I've come to relax a little bit. And in that relaxation, last stream was canceled because after putting the kiddos to bed, I died. I brushed my teeth and got ready for the first phase of a biphasic sleep, which I'm still doing a little bit of. And I was going to wake up and stream. And I woke up and I was like, all I feel like I can do is sleep. I can't even get out of bed. I was like almost paralyzed. I was so tired. And I woke up this morning after 9 hours of sleep. I'm used to getting 4 these days. 9 hours of sleep. And I was tired upon waking up. And a couple points in the course of today, I was nodding off, wanting more sleep. Crazy. And I injured myself pretty badly today. We'll get into that in just a bit. I didn't think I'd catch the VOD after I fell asleep last week. I watched until End of Ruins, so not sure how far you got. We met the two lovely puzzle making skeletons, and they have led us through their gauntlet of puzzles. And I think we're just on the other side of that. We met Sans and Papyrus. And they're cute. They're cute. A rose to a Troa. Hi, welcome. Yeah, I feel like the game overall has been very cute, very weird, and very random. The creator, Toby Fox, I believe his name is, he must have made a game to show his love for dogs, because we've met quite a few cute doggo-based enemies. But aside from that, I forget exactly what we're doing on the other side of things. We're a boy trapped in a monster realm. We presumably want to go back to our family, but the monsters are all so excited, so keen on a little human boy being there, that they will do all sorts of things to try to fascinate me and throw me off my course. So that's fun. Yeah. Hi, how are you doing? I hurt. BLM? Black Mage? I do play Black Mage. That's my number one. I play Final Fantasy 14, and in that, out of all the DPS classes, I absolutely love Black Mage. Hi, how are you doing? Yeah. So I fell on my wrist, and my wrist is already injured. Let's switch scenes. Oh, thank goodness this game actually loads the way it's supposed to. Unlike the previous Mother games where I had to, like, do some finagling every single time. My wrist was injured when I was much younger. I took a community course class in snowboarding, I figured it was, I grew up very, very poor, for those of you that are just meeting me for the first time. I never thought I would be able to afford to go snowboarding. All the equipment, or if you don't have the equipment, you have to rent it. And then you have the lift pass, and it's just like, oh, and the travel to get there and back. I just didn't think it was in my realm. But with the community college course, I went with a bunch of other students, and we must have gotten some crazy discounts. One for education, two for having, I don't know how many of us there were on this in this class, maybe 30 kids in one class. Kids, I say kids. I was, in my early 20s or late teens. We went to the really nice slopes in California, Southern California, and a blizzard hit. So we had the best, freshest powder, the best experience you could have. Hello. Welcome on in, Stuart. Hope you have a great weekend. Thank you. My weekend is wrapping up, but Undertale's the last thing that I will do this weekend, which is pretty nice. Hope everyone is feeling better. Were we feeling bad before? I don't feel like we were feeling bad. Toady, I know exactly where that fire comes from. I've been using that fire emoji too. If my gift sub to Liana fades in this next month, I'm probably just gonna have to make my own fire emoji because I really like that one. I really like the flames. I need flames. I think I deserve flames. What do you guys think? Oz was Oz has been up and down in health, but today she had a lot of oomph, which was good because I was busy almost all day today doing house things. The house wants to cost us lots of money, and I don't want that. So if I put in enough manual labor and YouTube video searches, I'm trying to save us money where we can, and so the place doesn't fall apart and rot. Where are you from? My family is from Finland. I'm mostly genetically Finnish. If you know anything about Finland, you know most of us are very calm, peaceful, and antisocial people. Turns out I'm rather social, but only with people who excite me. So if I meet you and you're just interested in the same things everybody else is interested in, you don't live an exciting life, I'll probably still be friendly with you, but I probably won't be excited to talk with you. But I do get excited talking to exciting people. Maybe that's normal, though. That sounds pretty normal. Yeah, but my family moved away from Finland and moved to the United States basically because of Russia. Not Russians. Russians have only treated us with love and kindness that I've met so far. But the government and the Finnish government do not get along. And so my family felt it was time to leave and not be anywhere near the conflict there. A little bit of fire as a treat. Just treat yourself. Treat yourself with a bit of fire. Liana is a sweetie. We really do like her. Yeah, I feel like we have such limited interactions with her, and she's always just online. I wish I could get to know her offline, but in all my spare time, I don't have a whole heck of a lot of free time to get to know new people. But everything that I've seen of her, she seems amazing. Do you like Canada? I've only been to Canada once. I went to British Columbia for a wedding, and it was between a Canadian and an American. Why a Canadian would marry an American? He seemed like a pretty cool guy. He's one of my best friends, actually. But we went to BC, and I fell in love. I would easily live in BC. The fact that I live right now in the American Deep South is a little bit beyond my own ability to decide exactly where I wanted to live. I think I've always loved the Pacific, sort of like the Northwest areas. So British Columbia, Washington State, Oregon. That's probably just those three areas. And I would go back in a heartbeat. But we're here for reasons that take too long to explain. We'll see how it all works out. But I loved that part of Canada. I'd love to see, you know, the biggest populated parts of Canada, which are mostly like French and English combined, and usually around the Great Lakes sort of areas. I'd be curious to meet that part of Canada. She has one of those smiles that feels like a hug and makes her eyes twinkle. It's adorable. I love that. I hope I can remember that and mention that to, or you should mention that to her next time you see her. I feel like that's a huge compliment, and the sort of compliment you just don't hear from people. I'm in Canada, in Alberta. Oh, nice. Self-care already. Toady, Toady, I haven't even loaded the game yet. Do you see the screen we're on right now? I mean, I'll do your self-care. Thank you. Coming out all guns blazing like this. How is Alberta? Alberta's kind of like on the more rural side, off the beaten path a bit, right? There's a couple big cities, but it's a lot of pulled away from the main centers of civilization, if I'm not mistaken. How do you like it there? Time to subscribe. Well, Noah, thank you so much. Noah, the silly... Wait, what's a protogen? Protogen. I know proto... Why does that sound like a word I do know? What is a protogen? I love wordsmithing, and that's just a word that I haven't run across before. I'm really curious. Thank you so much. I told her something similar when I told her why I followed her. I raided to her with my buddy Mew. She was a bit taken aback, actually. She's apparently self-conscious about her smile. Oh, really? You know, I feel like we're our own worst critics, right? We'll look at ourselves and say, oh, that's divergent. That's not normal. That's not beauty standard. And we don't realize that some parts of us, especially parts of us that are different than everybody else, can actually be quite endearing to other people. Because in that difference, you are special or unique. You know, you might have teeth that you feel you're self-conscious about, or a dimple, or your nose is too wide or too narrow, or one of your eyes is asymmetrical or whatever. But there's so much like photoshopping and perfecting and filters on Instagram pictures. There's so much engineering of what a person looks like and how they feel in the world, and all the advertising that we consume. I feel like actually seeing a person's imperfections is more attractive than seeing somebody who's completely sanitized. Even in real life, right? You could see somebody in real life and they have Instagram filters on, right? They do nose jobs and Botox and all the things to make their face look as sanitized as possible. Usually it's about sanitization. There's some counterculture movements where it's really more about differentiating yourself from the norm, but those people that are interested in adding asymmetry or adding less common features to their faces, I feel like that's more of a rarity. Most people that do things to their face, they do it to conform to an ideal that they think they should be closer to. And I always feel worse about it myself. I know if they're doing it to make themselves happy and then they made themselves happy on the other end, that's probably a net positive. But I like personally to see people's flaws and nuances because those are the things that make you stand out. To me, if you don't stand out, you're disinteresting. And I know that's not a popular ideology. Most people really do like a certain amount of like symmetry and perfection and beauty and all that sort of thing. I find beauty in the things that make you flawed, that make you different, that make you non-conforming. And I think I'm just overwhelmed by the amount of airbrushed, photoshopped models that all have a certain feel to them. That look to me is not beauty anymore. It's boring. You've over inundated the market with a certain look, and now I can't find any interest in that level of standardization. I need something to pop. I need something to look disruptive about a person to enjoy them. Yeah, that's just me. That's just me. Alberta is good. I've been in BC for hiking. It looks like a great place for hiking. So does Alberta, really. If you like the outdoors and you find a good place to go out trekking. I have a sister who went to. Do you know where Banff National Park is? Went to Banff and did a horse trek there. There is a company that basically they get everybody saddled up on horses, and you go through these horse trails up into beautiful, just crazy forested areas and cliffs and all sorts of stuff. You go for a I want to say it's like a week's trip, and you make your own food every single night, and you're on horses almost all day long, and it just gives you this feeling, this anachronistic feeling from today, where we're so used to just hopping in a car, everything being convenient, everything being the shortest amount of time possible. And this particular horse trekking trip pulls you out of that. It makes you feel like you can take things at a different pace, and sort of connect back up with nature, especially when the way you get around is a live animal that you have to tend to, which I love. I love that. Silvos, hello and welcome. Thank you so much for your shares recently in Discord. Not only do I watch your shares in my community, but I also see you sharing in my friendos communities, and I appreciate your face. You really enrich all of our Discord servers with your presence, and our live streams as well. I appreciate you. Hope everything's doing well with you and Hitomi. From memory, protogens are fursonas with an electronic face type thing. Really? That's awesome. I'm going to do some research on protogens then. That sounds really cool. Along the same lines, we don't ever see ourselves when we're talking about our passions or right after getting a great compliment. True. Those are usually off the cuff moments. You're not looking in a mirror. You're not looking in a camera where you can like monitor your reactions. Well, I am right now because I can look right there and I can see myself on screen. But by and large, we don't know how we look in those very human moments. That's very true. It's odd we'd be so hard on ourselves when we're never privy to our best moments. Yeah, I feel like those are great moments. You never see what you look like. You don't really know. Sometimes when you have a situation like that, you receive a compliment, you're in a particularly intimate situation with a friend or even a stranger, and somebody brings a part of you to life that's just usually not really there. You have no idea how you look or come off, but many of us, I think, in those vulnerable moments are at our most beautiful. Absolutely. The food, I mean, it's more than just the food. It's the ways that you just engage. I mean, you post good stuff. I appreciate everything that you've done in my community and in others where I sometimes just lurk. What's your favorite sport? My personal favorite sport is hockey. I grew up not really being sporty. And then I had a friend that I met in 5th grade who would become my best friend for maybe a decade. He's passed away now. He actually just passed away in December. So it's still a little bit raw for me because that's young, right? He didn't grow up to be an old man. Still had probably many more decades of life under his belt, but something gave up in his body, and he's gone now. But he introduced me to hockey, both on ice and where we lived at the time that I met him in Southern California. We'd play a lot of street hockey, and because of him, I bought equipment and bought a stick and bought, rollerblades and everything and got involved in the sport. We would play hockey video games. We'd watch hockey matches. And I think I was sold. I don't think I enjoyed a sport as much as I've enjoyed hockey. I do play other sports more than hockey because of the buy-in. If you meet new people and they want to do something physical with you, I feel like other sports are a quicker and easier buy-in. If you want to play basketball, you just have to know where a basketball court is, and one of you has to own a basketball. That's pretty light on the equipment costs side of things. Hockey requires a little bit more, even if you're just playing street hockey or just like hitting a puck back and forth or a ball back and forth on the street. But it doesn't matter. To me, that's probably my favorite and most enjoyable sport that I've ever played in my entire life. We loves the Silvos. We do. We actually do. From what I've been told, when I'm out and about, I look less human and more human with a trademark. There are definitely some days where I feel like I'm that way too. Absolutely. I try to make the world a better place than it was when I arrived. I get that vibe from you. Yeah. Yeah. There is something, you know what you are naturally, Silvos, that I can tell right off the cuff. You are naturally jovial. Can I use that word? I hope that's a compliment and not rude. I don't know if you actually feel that way inside, but the way you come off when you communicate, there's a jovial, happy, welcoming and warm nature to you. You're almost like a natural bard without the music side of things. I don't know if you're actually a musician, but you're very naturally happy and fun and funny and welcoming. Just like your natural vibe. Oh, I fell bad? Oh, feel bad? I would say more people like Silvos. Actually, Toady, I agree. I agree with that. I play baseball. I never got into baseball. I don't know what it is. I feel like the pace of baseball is a little bit slower compared to soccer, aka football if you don't live in the US, hockey and basketball. Those are all sports that have some points where you have to stop, reset, and get back to the action. But baseball feels like mostly stop and then some bursts of action. I feel like it's much slower as far as a sport goes, and that pace of baseball I feel is just not where I enjoy sports. I enjoy sports that really push the endurance of the athletes involved, and baseball has so much stand, wait, and strategize. And I think football is a little bit further toward athleticism and further away from standing around. But I also don't like football, American football, for that same reason. So baseball, very inactive to my eyes, to my perception. Football, Lots of downtime, lots of planning, lots of talking about what the next play is going to be, right? Lots of standing still and waiting for a moment to happen. And then you have the games where you just cannot stand still, cannot make those plans the same way. And I think basketball, hockey, and soccer or football, they all sort of fit that vein where it's like everybody's constantly moving, and a lot of strategy has to happen on the fly. I prefer that sort of like level of manic movement. Yeah. What the fuck is going on? What's up, Chairface? Dude, are you a fan of the Tick? Because I haven't seen that name in a long time. I don't know how that could be taken the wrong way. Oh, good. Too many texts on the screen, brain hurt. Oh, yeah. I mean, we're in the menu for Undertale, and it's just like a lot of text right here. I don't blame you. Music, no, just karaoke. Okay. I love karaoke. Do you do standing in a bar and singing for a bunch of strangers karaoke? Or do you do like what I'm comfortable with, which is not hiring, what's the word I'm looking for? Renting a booth, and you're just with your friends in that booth and you're all singing just for each other? That's my kind of karaoke. I don't do the standing in front of strangers karaoke. I kind of want to see what it looks like when somebody takes that the wrong way. Takes what the wrong way? I remember being halfway decent at cricket when I was younger. Oh. And then what happened? Did you keep up with it or what? Let's pop into the game, shall we? Oh, I forgot how cool this music was. This very much, you know what this music reminds me of? Any of you play Secret of Mana? What do you mean save? I'm literally standing right at the save point. I just loaded. I'm not gonna save. I'm not gonna save for you. I think you just wanted to watch that alert go off. Yeah, there's a place. I think it's close to where you meet Santa Claus in Secret of Mana. It is an icy place like we are right now, and the music. This music reminds me of that Secret of Mana area for some reason. Yeah. I was okay at certain sports before I ruined my knee. Oh no, did you take an arrow to the knee? I was just talking earlier that I had a really bad snowboarding injury. That I took a snowboarding course in a community college. It's the only way that poor younger me, not that I'm rich now, but I'm not as poor, could have ever afforded snowboarding, is through a community college course where we had a group discount, we had an education discount, so the price of the class plus a little bit of a materials cost, or yeah, fee to the class allowed me to go snowboarding. I really extremely fucked up one of my wrists. And you can't see anything about my... I could show you my wrist, but who cares? You probably can't see anything. It's not like it's purple and like bloating or like looks like a frog's neck while he's trying to sing. It's not that bad, but I fell on this wrist that I injured really, really badly on that snowboarding trip. And I'm tore up from that. In fact, actually, I landed on this forearm. I scraped it as I was falling, and then somehow I got my hand underneath and I hyperextended part of my fingers and my wounded wrist, and all of that scar tissue inside of my wrist that prevents mobility, it all got really chewed up today. And so the whole right side of me, basically everything from my shoulder down, is just like throbbing and aching, and I cannot put weight on it. I can't even like twist a cap off of whatever food, you know, that has twist off caps. I can't hardly grab with these fingers. Just a little bit of pressure and things hurt. So like my whole right hand and arm is like absolutely foobar. And all I did was fall, but I fell in a really awkward, bad way. I was underneath the house, and our crawl space underneath the house, you don't have to get down on knees and elbows, but you can't stand up. So you have to walk kind of Quasimodo, like hunched down to about half my standing height. And I slipped in a brand new leak that we found out one of the toilets was leaking, and it was leaking into the crawl space, damaging our foundation, damaging the wood beams that hold our house together. I'm like, oh, this is really bad. And the way I discovered it is because it was leaking onto the crawl space ground, which is just clay. I slipped on that clay, fell really bad, scratched my forearm, slammed into that, and then hyperextended my wrist and my fingers. It was this super weird JFK assassin situation where I hurt way more than I felt like I should have hurt in just one small falling down. But yeah, I'm so pain. I'm in so much pain all day today after that. Yeah. I was at least passable at sports until COVID hit. Oh, really? Then after that, did your body sort of forget how to do a sport? I most definitely do not in public, in my car and Discord. Oh, okay. Wait, you do karaoke in Discord? I haven't been participant to that. That's unfortunate. What's up, mobile gaming? How's it going? I had someone run and fall into my knee? You mean it was somebody else's fault? They smashed your knee? Funny enough, they are not meant to bed sideways. Wait, what? Bed? Oh, you bend. Yes. Oh, that sounds awful. I was, I was running on track. I wasn't even running in a competition. I was doing like warm up running on a track. And this guy with a really wide gait and to his step came up behind me in my lane, and his toe clipped my heel. I fell on the track. And for those of you that know, I don't know in other countries, but in the US, most running tracks, it's like a clay powder or dust that they use as a surfacing agent. I fell onto that clay powdery dust stuff, and I slid on it because it's loose. It's not like packed down. It's not a surface. It's sort of like a loose gravel, like a clay gravel. I slid on that for maybe 3 feet, or I don't know how many, probably not a full kilometer. I slid a lot. 3 Imperial Freedom units of sliding. And my palms were scraped wide open. My knees were scraped wide open. Blood was not pouring out of my wounds because of the clay. It was like packed into the wound. So I went and washed up because I was like, oh, I probably shouldn't be covered in clay dust. That's not terrific. I went to the drinking fountain and I just turned that on and then, put my knees as best as I could under the running water, put my palms under the water, and then I started gushing blood. It was coming out of my knees so fast. It was running into my socks and turning my socks pink. It was awful. Yeah. And I don't have any scar. No, actually, I might have some knee scars from that. But my wrists, my palms of my hands grew up, healed okay. But that was awful. And that was just because some other person fucked me over. So, yeah, I feel that somebody else basically came and screwed up your knee. Super sucks. I was good at soccer when I was in middle and high school as well as track, but I hated both of them. I wish I was better at I played soccer for the YMCA. In a sort of like young adult to old adult league. It was a really weird league with a weird disparity of ages involved. Nobody too young could involve themselves. But I never got good, and I missed a lot of practices, unfortunately. It was a bad time of my life. I was going through a divorce, and lots of shit was happening. Is this a Q&A type stream? I guess. I mean, if you have a question, I'll gladly answer it. It's not. It's I'm just trying to catch up with chat, and then I'll probably be playing, mostly focus-faced on getting through this game. But here's the thing. I feel like at the beginning of my streams, we're all a lot more chatty, and as you all get more tired, and I've answered all of your questions for the evening, then it gets more game focused. So if you're here for the first time, like Chairface and some other folks are, the stream generally runs more community based, more conversation based near the beginning, and more game centric after that. That makes sense. It's been a minute / years, but yeah. I can still do sport. I just got a little chunky, plus my lungs could barely keep up anyway. I feel that. I'm probably in the worst health now than I've ever been for reasons. But I do want to get back to being more athletic. Not least of which the kiddos are becoming more active and have deeper interests than just academics. I'm really good at academics, but they also need, physical engagement in some way. So getting out into the yard and goofing around with sports and developing their physique as well as their minds. So I need to maintain a certain level of health to be the best resource I can for them. Definitely. I was this close from tearing my MCL. Oof. I've heard that when you do that, you don't come back. Basically, a torn MCL is like a permanent debuff to the rest of your life. Is that right? I performed live for years. Really? So my stage fright is completely dead. I have no issue singing karaoke in random bar spaces. The reason why I like booth karaoke is because, one, you usually get to sing more songs in a given night because you're not competing with everybody in John Q public. And two, I generally don't like to hear a bunch of strangers sing off key a bunch of songs that I really love. I like to be there with just my friends and hear them sing, even if they're off key too. Those are my friends and I know them. And so there's sort of a bonding, there's a team building happening there. Whereas a bunch of strangers I might never see again, I'm less interested in hearing them sing karaoke. So I like the booth style a little bit better. Plus those booth places can sometimes let you order like drinks and food and stuff. Like the experience is actually really cool in some booth karaoke's, not all of them. And for those of you that didn't know, Oz and I first met in person in a booth karaoke situation. And in fact, we got to sing a few duets together. And when you sing a duet with somebody, there's a certain magic that gets unlocked there. And yeah, the rest is history. I believe tearing is, yeah. Oof, yeah. Torn MCL, -3 dex, +2 charisma. Wait, why is it? Oh, because you have a cool story you can share with people? I feel like that can be true. When I've asked most people about their injuries, I feel like almost every story is not story worthy, unfortunately. The vast majority of like, oh wow, how'd you lose that finger? Or why do you have that limp? Or what is it, what happened to your face? They're actually kind of like sadly benign stories for the vast majority of us. And the big problems, not big problems, the big epic stories when somebody's like, oh yeah, I got in this fight and the cops came and there's a crazy, and I got infected and I was gonna die, but I fought back against the infection. Like the crazy stories are really, really rare. I had a scuba instructor who was missing most of his fingers he just had like nubs on one hand. And he was like, I wish I could tell you this was from like a shark encounter or something crazy that happened on a particular scuba dive, where it was like, oh shit, wildlife, you know, I'm interacting in the ocean and something crazy happened. He said, the reason why my hand is like this is because I was born this way. And I feel like that's the vast majority of what happens with people, is like, it's just something either genetic, we were born in a certain way, or very benign situation in our lives. Like, oh, I stumbled upon a coffee table, or I backed up into a footstool, fell in a certain way, and this happened to me. It's all, most of our experiences are a lot simpler than we wish we could have big epic stories to tell people what happened. Yeah. Being raised by a deeply religious people, the second it was discovered that I had inherited my family's musical ability, that's cool, I was tossed in voice lessons and performing all over the place in no time. I was the only singer out of 10 kids, so it was even more so a special thing about me. Oh, that's really cool. I'm basically the only musical person in my family. I don't know anybody that got involved in music, or if they did, it was maybe just like marching band or orchestra in school. But actually thinking about it, I have lots and lots of aunts, uncles, cousins, and I'm trying to think which ones of them play an instrument to any sort of degree of proficiency. I have one uncle who can play a mean banjo. Like, he can pluck and do the whole multi-finger thing like crazy. But he hasn't done that in quite a while, or to my knowledge. I'm the only professional musician in the entire family, and I have a big family on my mom's side. Nobody else went in that direction. Nobody else went towards acting or just anything on stage or performance related, which is kind of a shame. It makes me feel very weird that I'm the one person in our whole family that went in that direction. Yeah. I can't sing for the life of me. Used to play instruments, but those got given to my younger siblings. What? Because they feigned an interest? That's so rude. You should have come back at your parents and been like, hey, are they actually doing the thing? or should these should instrumentation go to me? Oh, that's not the right button. What's the it's a note from Papyrus. Human, please enjoy the spaghetti. Little do you know, this spaghetti is a trap designed to entice you. You'll be so busy eating it that you won't realize that you aren't progressing. Thoroughly japed again by the great Papyrus. Oh, japed. That's a word I don't hear in modern times very much. Papyrus. Oh, this guy's totally like the facade of this game, but a lot sweeter for some reason. Mouse? Is there a mouse in here? Aww. Every time you see a little mouse hole in this game, they just squeak at you. Should we eat the... It's a plate of frozen spaghetti? Can we put it in the microwave? It's so cold, it's stuck to the table. I'm guessing that is not a microwavable spaghetti then, if it is firmly affixed to the table. It's an unplugged microwave. I'm guessing there's also no outlets around here. All of the settings say spaghetti. All right, so much for eating this frozen solid spaghetti, I guess. This is awful. We've been talking for like 50 minutes and we haven't left the screen. I need to take a quick bio break because that's where I'm at with my day. So I'm going to take a brief AFK and we will actually get to playing some Undertale this evening, but not before I ban a ban evader. Yeah. I kind of miss playing instruments. I think it sounds like that's something you need to get back into, honestly. Music to me feeds the soul. If you're a musician in any way, any capacity, or even if you're not, you don't care about the performance side of things, but you just enjoy certain musicians, you should enrich yourself with music every day. I don't distrust a lot of people outright. I give them a chance to prove themselves as trustworthy or not trustworthy. But if somebody says, I don't really listen to music, or I don't really enjoy music, or music doesn't really have a big impact on my life, I immediately distrust you. And then you have to earn your trust. I don't know why that is, but to me, music is so endemic to the human experience that if there's no music in your life, if you don't regularly listen to musicians, you have a favorite band or artist or whatever, and you don't have that in your life, I feel like something's off, and I distance myself from people who do not have regular music in their lives. I feel like there's something wrong, something off, something missing with those people. Like it's a triggering trait that there's some sort of neurospicy that is deleterious to my interacting with that person. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, you know what? I'm actually happy to have more bot activity in 2025 than I have in other years, because it means that as I grow, as this becomes more business and less hobby, that I'm being targeted for attempts at attacking, assaulting, spamming and scamming me. The more of that I get, the more I feel like I'm succeeding at what I'm doing. Does that make sense? Like I have more interest, even negative interest, coming at me. It means that we're growing at a good pace, and I like that. Guess I'm gonna need to heist my clarinet next time I visit. Yeah, do it. Hello, Christopher. My day sucks. Oh well, night. I don't know why, but my nose just started stuffing up and it's draining like crazy. Probably allergies. More likely something that still don't like it. This is definitely allergy season. If you don't know that you regularly get allergies in the spring, this might be the spring where your body decided that all the pollen and everything coming back to life is going to actually attack your body. I've heard that some people do develop allergies that they didn't have when they were younger, but just randomly one year, usually during the spring, your body decides, hey, guess what? You were never allergic before, now you're allergic. This is the year where you will start being allergic. I would try maybe a antihistamine drug and see how it do. If it doesn't alleviate anything, you can at least rule that out, but it could be, that's happening to you. A lot of people said when we moved to Georgia, I would become allergic to all the pollen here, even though I have no allergies, except for like poison ivy and poison oak, like stuff that's like normal reactions. So far every year I've been okay. However, something in this room, the room that I happen to be streaming in, unfortunately, does trigger my nose. So I have issues right now too, and I think it's an allergy. We have a lot of old books in here in this particular room, and some other stuff that might be an allergenic to me. But my nose is usually well behaved until I start streaming, which sucks because I don't have a better place to stream in the house besides this room. So it means that whatever is in this room that I'm susceptible to, I have no idea how to deal with it right now, except to buy like an expensive air filter, which right now I'm not not looking to fund. By the way, you should be coming to a part where I was able to troll Teresa. I feel like you're able to troll Teresa daily. That's part of your relationship. I'm going to be real sad if I ever develop an allergy to something I like. If I get a peanut allergy at any point, I'm going to go radio silent for a few days. Are you a really big peanut fanatic? I like peanuts. I like peanut butter. I'm not a big fan of peanuts. But that's definitely one of the like more lethal allergens. I feel like if I don't know this to be the case, but I presume if you're allergic when you're young, you're allergic for life, but most people don't develop a late in life peanut allergy. I think that's the case. And of course, when we say peanut allergy, we really mean there's a fungus that invades peanuts because they're an underground legume. They're not a nut. And so because of that underground fungus, that's whatever that is, it's super lethal. It can absolutely kill a person in a very short amount of time. Most people who have allergies get like hives or like their throat starts to close a little bit, but that's nothing like what you get with a peanut allergy, because that's like a fungus is trying to like end you in a very short period of time. Very different experience. I don't know if there's any foods that I would be like devastated if I became allergic to, because there's so many other good foods out there. There are a few foods that I put at like S tier. I think if I got allergic to lime or basil or cinnamon, I'd be really sad. There's a few others in there. Yeah. I got an allergy to shrimp, so I can tell you it sucks getting an allergy to something you like. You liked shrimp before you became allergic? That kind of sucks. Nuts of many varieties are my ideal snack. Peanuts are a preference. I mean, if you really like nuts and peanuts are off the table, at least you have other like true nuts, like tree nuts and stuff. Actually, I really love Undertale, one of my favorite games. What's your opinion on Deltarune? I don't know anything about Deltarune. What do you think about the new chapter whenever they're going to make it? Yeah, I haven't heard about that game. This is my first playthrough of Undertale, and I'm really enjoying. It's really wacky and weird and homebrew feeling. I can smell like the individual developer nature to the game, and I've been really enjoying. It definitely seems like they're highly influenced by the Mother games, which I like, because those were really wacky and zany games. And this feels like a spiritual successor to that franchise, since Nintendo stopped at Mother 3 and never carried on after that. So I'm having a lot of fun with this. What's up, Patrick? First time playing Undertale? Yeah, we were just talking about that. This is my first playthrough. I know nothing about this series beyond what I've just played in the last stream.
Toady_Toady just subscribed.
Toady, welcome to Tier 1 Subland. Thank you, Anonymous, for making Toady an established, well-subbed folk. Who the fuck? You will never know. They're anonymous. That's the point. Oh, you love shrimp? I'm so sorry that you're allergic. Server updates in the morning, so I must do the sleep thing. Thank you, Silvos. Thanks for popping in. Sleep well. I hope to catch up soon. I feel like I don't know what's been going on in the last few months, and there's stuff I could probably catch you up on that has been happening in our homestead. So, but for now, please do sleep well. I got some crazy good sleep last night, and I feel like a changed person. So I hope you sleep well. Deltarune is the sequel to Undertale? Wait, really? Oh, we don't have that on our streaming schedule. We might need to change the games that we stream upcoming. I had no idea. I've been crunching on salted cashews since I got here. My kiddos love cashews. Cashews are probably my favorite out of the tree nuts. Mostly because they're so sweet compared to everything else. I just don't like the flavor of most nuts, but cashews are special in my heart. Yeah. Since I already went to bed, it was probably Rush. Oh, yeah, let's blame Rushdell. Toady, I think Rushdell gave you a gift sub. Congratulations. Jim! Hello. I wish I knew what was going on with me in the last few months. Oh, it's like that. I've had months like that, definitely. If you find out, let me know. Believe Deltarune is not finished yet. We'll finish around the same time as a Switch 2 is released. Oh, okay. Interesting. Interessante. What about D's nuts? Well, D is right here, and D's nuts got to go take a bio break. I'm just catching up with chat, and then I'm going to take a bio break, and then we're going to actually play some Undertale. I promise. But hi and welcome, Jam. Deltarune only has 4 out of 5 chapters released or about to be released. Rushdell, I think, is 2 L's. Toady, I promise I will do those things, but first I'm going to take a quick bio break, so BRB. Playground school. I can't move forward. Like, I get frustrated at how many things don't open. Jeez. I have the soles of my feet have goosebumps right now. And of course, the door that was locked now just opened. Oh my god. I'm a fallen angel. I will do someday grow my wings and fly awake under those stones of your past dread.
I think I'm falling in love with Mom. Not my mom, but character Mom.
Somebody clip that. Oh my god.
Nobody clipped that.
Clip.
I'm clipping it.
Clip it.
God damn it. Oz is all over it. I can feel it.
No guilds. No builds.
No guilds, no builds.
Not much 411.
Oh, a directory.
What do we see? Oh, how did you meet me? What's our backstory? You met me on the road to Markarth. I was headed there because some of us need to touch the butt to make a living. Nope.
Let me go talk to her. I still see love in the future for you two crazy kids.
Okay.
And back to the bongos. He's so excited about his drums. Yeah, Morgan. Check for weapons. All right, let's try this again.
Hello.
What is it?
Interrogate. There are some good clips there that I haven't seen in a long time. Good stuff. Oh, and we timed my bio break with an ad break for the people on Twitch. Good stuff. Good stuff. You might find this weird. Most people, I don't know what that was trying to say. I don't really sleep at night. I don't know why I cannot sleep at night. Instead, I sleep all day in the morning. Is that a preference thing or body? So you're not alone. I believe I did some research on this a couple years ago. Fact check me if I'm wrong. But I do believe that the vast majority of humankind splinters off into different sleep cohorts. So, and the reason why we did this is evolution. When you have a group of people that need to sleep, especially in like caveman times, you know, you had a fire that somebody started or some sort of watch or protected area. Some people immediately went to bed basically right as the sun went down. Can't see well, great time to sleep. Okay, some people, the sun went down, it's like, all right, I can't see that well. My whole body is telling me I got to go to sleep right now. But some people felt like, no, I feel kind of energized right now. I'm going to stay up a little bit. And they would do a bit of a watch for everybody else. Half your tribe or your group or whatever, the people you're traveling with, they're already asleep, but you can stay awake and watch out for predators, little creatures that might come in and try to steal your food, whatever. You're there and you're on point. You're sentry so that nobody's taking your food, munching on your friends, coming in and causing mayhem or harm to your tribe or your group of people. And then you pass out, and then maybe there's some people that they only slept for an hour or two, but they wake back up again. And they're like, oh my gosh, I'm like awake for a couple hours. Like I can't really go back to sleep right away. And those people would take like the next watch and so on and so forth. People need different sleep patterns so that we can be there present for each other and protect and watch, you know, stand sentry over other people. That's such a genetic history in us. That's such a requirement for older times, for many, probably centuries of humankind, where people needed to live and survive in different watches so that we could be of benefit to each other at different ages during the course of a given 24-hour cycle. And I think that's still true today, right? You still have people that need to run graveyard shifts. You still have 24-hour services, medical or emergency services, where people need to jump in and help at any hour. And then those people need supportive services. So if you work graveyard, you clock out, and then you need to go get food in you, or you need to go buy groceries, or you need something, then other people need to be awake to be infrastructure for those people. So there is no right or wrong time to wake up and fall asleep. If everybody cohered to the same one schedule, then when we needed you, when we need somebody else to step in and help us out in an emergency situation, what if that was off hours from everybody? What if everybody worked 9 to 5 or 9 to 6? We wouldn't have people when we need them. So the fact that we evolved into different sleeping cohorts is critical for our survivability today, just as much as it was when we were like trying to live in the wild and survive predation, right? I think it's good. I think that's healthy. Can anyone tell me in chat what your favorite game between the two, Undertale or the sequel, is? If so, who's your favorite character from each? I feel like this character that we've been playing in Undertale has zero personality. Whether that changes later on, I don't know. But for now, I feel like I named him Damien because I'm boring with names. He's got no personality of his own. I just sleep easier to ambient night noises. I guess it depends on the night noises. Here during the day, noises are more annoying, and at night, I feel like the noises here are more pleasant. But that's just me. Tell me why I cannot sleep in the nighttime like my body prefers to stay awake all night and sleep all day. Because you're one of those people that has the genetics to not save, but protect your tribe or your family when they're all sleeping in the normal times. Yeah, I think it's genetic preponderance. So some of us are more inclined to be awake when everybody else is asleep to help protect them. That's the thing. Warning, dog marriage. Oh, I guess we're gonna see a dog. I was saying earlier too, I feel like the developer of this game really likes doggos. We've had skeletons and cows and daisies, and there are some different monsters around here, but this developer seems to really love floofy doggos, and that's okay. Oh, we're fighting. Those aren't doggos. I feel like we're gonna die. Oh my god. Ice Cap and Snow Day confront you sighing. Jerry. Dogs are pretty cool. I like floofy doggos. I do. We're gonna die. No, not fight. Not fight. Your head looks so good naked. Oh god, I'm gonna die. I had no idea. I wasn't trying to fight anyone. Snowdrake realized its own name is a pun and is freaking out. Okay. Oh, I didn't want to fight. I really wanted to do act. Can we act on the Snowdrake? Maybe first? Oh, we're not supposed to laugh at this. They're supposed to tell a joke. They are supposed to tell a joke first. I remember. What the hell is the Jerry? It'll change later on if you're playing True Pacifist or Genocide, but I won't spoil anything. Thank you for no spoilers. I am playing this game very, very blind. I really have no idea how this story is going, and I like it that way. Let's try act on the Jerry. Check or ditch? Oh, I don't want to ditch it, but I guess let's ditch it. You and the other monsters ditch Jerry when it looks away. Oh, that's so bad. I feel so bad. We're supposed to make friends with the monsters. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna... Oh, here we go. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Snowdrake is smiling at its own bad joke. Did it tell a joke? If it told a joke, then we need to laugh. Sans, you're here in my chat. I didn't even realize I would be playing this game and Sans would grace us with their presence. Hello, what's up? Hi. I've enjoyed making your brother feel comfortable. I feel like that's Sans' #1 MO. Is like, hey, I got this brother. I really like him a lot. I'd love it if you would just like patronize him. And so I've tried to do that as much as possible. It sounds like, yeah, thank you. That's cool. That's cool. My bro really needs this like boost of confidence. And so we're helping Sans out by making his brother happy. Are you fighting me yet? No. Hopefully I don't ever have to fight Sans. All right, let's laugh at this guy's joke. Hopefully that's the answer. You laugh at Snowdrake's pun. You have good taste in jokes. And the other guy's like, your head looks good naked. Oh, shit. Snowdrake is pleased with its cool joke. Okay, Snowdrake is done. Let's act on the ice cap. Compliment the hat? Do we steal the hat? Let's try stealing the hat. Well, it's actually a thing because his whole avatar and stuff for him in real life, all his promotional things is him as a dog. Oh, the developer, he really loves doggos that much, huh? Are we with nicknamed on the community, nicknamed to Toby Dog instead of Toby Fox? His last name's Fox, right? That's funny. You know, we do this people who spoil things. Oh yeah, we know. Stop on a blue attack. Oh yeah. I remember the blue. We don't move. Try to steal Ice Cap's hat, but it's not weakened. Oh, I don't want to hurt him. Oh no, the other thing is back. He's back. Uh-oh. That's not great. Oh, I'm taking damage. I don't want to take more damage. Snowdrake is pleased with its cool joke. Okay, the Jerry is back. I forget what to do with the ice cap. Can we just ignore him? You managed to tear your eyes away from Ice Cap's hat. It looks annoyed. Hello, my hat's up here. Aw. Oh, there's so much bullet hell happening right now. Did we fix Ice Cap? We did not. How do we compliment the hat? It has a great hat. Duh, who doesn't know? I don't feel like that's working on Ice Cap. Oh, damn it. These guys hurt. Ice Cap is not pleased. Jerry, we need to ditch again, but I don't think we're ready to ditch. Ignore? You continue not looking at Ice Cap's hat. It seems defeated. Perfect. Fine. I don't care. He seems to say. Oh, God. Oh, no. Stop. Oh, my gosh. I can't believe I didn't take any damage. Okay. Ice Cap, Snowdrake, they're taken care of. Let's ditch the Jerry. Oh, my God. This brought on sort of a core memory for me. I usually don't use people's real names, but I have to mention this. There's a person named Jerry that I knew in high school. I will not say their last name. I don't want to dox anyone. This guy found my group, my high school group of friends, and started hanging out with us, but we didn't want him there. He was kind of like a... Have you ever met somebody who's doesn't really have a lot going on in their life, but they feel like if they insult everybody and act kind of like mean and denigrating to everything about around them, that they think they will get clout? But that to us just made us feel like, one, this guy is actually more pathetic than we thought he was, and two, we don't like that negative energy. Like, he literally badmouthed everything all the time. Like, oh, that game? Yeah, that game sucks. Oh, that sports celebrity? Oh, yeah, he's not as cool as everybody thinks he is. Oh, that candy? Yeah, that candy's not that great. Like, he badmouthed everything. He was just negative all the time. And I really didn't appreciate that. I didn't like him. I thought he was really just looking for validation. And he thought that my group was inclusive enough that we'd accommodate anyone. But we didn't accommodate somebody who's just literally rude and negative and mean all the time. And somebody who probably was the recipient or the receiver of bullying himself. He wasn't Chad. He wasn't like, I don't know, well fit and attractive and had girls fawning over him. He was just like just some guy. Kind of otaku vibes. And so for him to be mean felt even worse. I feel like it feels bad coming from a Chad sort of guy. Feels even worse coming from a guy that doesn't have anything going for him. And so we a couple times tried to completely ditch this guy. We would get together away from him and say, okay, we're gonna meet in a new place. We're gonna try to like not hang out with him during lunch. He would always I feel like he would scour the entire campus of our high school and find us wherever we hid, wherever we relocated, and would try to, be part of our group. And we'd say, I think a couple times we actually got fed up and said, hey, we really don't want you hanging out with us. And he'd say something like, well, you can't stop me from hanging out with you. So we'd just ignore him. He would be around us, but we would not give any attention or affection in his direction. And I think eventually it cooled down, or maybe he would be biased, but it didn't matter as long as we were ignoring him. Anyway, his name was Jerry, so we tried to ditch him. and this game is about ditching a Jerry. So that's kind of weird, right? Another tip to fight my bro. You kill my brother, you'll have a bad time. I'm trying not to kill anybody in this game so far. I feel like the Mother games had a bunch of different fights where you wouldn't necessarily hurt the person you were going up against. You would do something more passive or see how it played out. And this game leans on that a lot. There's a lot of like, you could just be passive almost the entire game, which is interesting. We had a spoiler? Oh, I don't think so. That's a Padlin. What's your favorite Viv Z pop show? I have no idea what that is. So probably none of them. No idea. Hello, Jim. Everyone knows the best font is Pistarset. What on earth is that font? What is that? Hello, Luke. I feel like I've known a few guys like that. Dude, did you know Jerry in high school, Luke? That guy was just, he was so rude and so didn't have the clout to be rude. Either you're a total Chad, you get all the women, you look amazing, you look like a Greek god. And then if you treat people like shit, who cares? You're like apex predator level of hot and popular. But this guy was like pudgy, beta, not even great at school. I wish I could say, he was not socially high on the clout list. He wasn't like a social alpha or sigma or whatever, but at least he was really fucking smart. But I was smart. I was in AP and IB classes. He was not in any of those classes. So he was remedial level education, and he was bottom of the barrel in social clout, but he acted like the bully that you would see taking charge of the school, taking matters into his own hands, beating up other kids, insult slinging, and just, having some social clout to toss around. He was not that kid. I feel like he was just trying to make himself bigger than what he was. Yeah. The guy in the story, to me, it just sounds like he's starved for attention or desperate for validation. 100%. That's why my group wanted to leave him, because we noticed that like emotional black hole side of this guy, this Jerry. We couldn't hang. We really tried to divorce ourselves from him. It's hell of a boss or has been hotel. What is? Oh, that's what the Viv Z pop shows are. I need to rewatch them. I watched them, but I was very much like, have you ever watched a show out the window? Like you had other tabs open, you were doing other stuff, you were busy with other projects, or you were like in DMs with somebody while watching a show at the same time. And so you didn't necessarily catch everything. I feel like those shows move so fast that if you do anything else while you're watching the show, you miss a beat. The dialogue moves fast, the jokes move fast, the songs are fast. Everything that lays down the groundwork and the world building of Has Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss, those shows move so fast. You have to focus on just the show. I have trouble with that because I have I'm in a phase of my life where I'm very like hyper productivity focused. I don't promote a grind life for people, a grind mindset. But right now for me, I'm trying to grind because I have certain goals I'm trying to meet so that I can be lazy later on. I want an older version of me to be lazy, to be allowed to be lazy. And right now, all I foresee is like hard work for years. So I'm trying to make it so I work less hard as I get older, because I'm getting older. And the only way I know to do that is to be productive now. So I watched both of those shows in their entirety, but I was trying to be productive at the same time, and I feel like I missed too much. I need to watch them again, and I need to focus on the show and the world building and the story and the character development and not do anything else. So I'm due a rewatch. But between the two, I think I prefer Has Been Hotel. Hell of a Boss has some great story and some great characters, but I think I still prefer Has Been Hotel so far. Yeah. Sometimes I chuck Netflix on just for background noise while I go about my business. I've done that before. Lately, I've been more interested in listening to music because Oz and I are writing songs for a project. Yeah. Luke says, sounds like me. Everything that you were in high school was good with me. Not like Jerry. Yeah. You should stream it. Like live stream watching it. I think I can only legally do that on Twitch, and only if I have an Amazon Prime account for legality purposes. Yeah, I don't know if I can actually like stream those shows, if that's what you mean, like putting them on and watching them as live streams so that I'm reacting to them. There might be legality reasons why I can't do that. I put Has Been Hotel, Steven Universe, Centaur World soundtracks on while I paint, usually if you're not streaming. Aww, Basura, are you saying that you won't listen to those soundtracks, but you'll listen to me if I'm streaming? That speaks highly of what you think of the sound of my voice. Could 100% do a Discord watch party? True. That's how I first watched those. They were on, Mary would stream them on her Discord. I haven't done watch party stuff on my own. I feel like just brand-wise, what I would want to stream on my own Discord would probably be horror films, because I'm a huge horror advocate. I'd want to stream my favorite horror films and then have like a debriefing session afterwards where we all talk about what we just saw, the pros and cons, and like why that horror movie should exist. So obviously not just play it for fluff or for like the horror. There's some horror movies that are just like a drinking game and nothing better. They're just like they're the bottom of the barrel. But there are a lot of horror movies that are really good, really poignant. I would love to stream those on Discord in time as I figure out what the hell we're doing with this whole. We have a big shift in scheduling that involved the little has been going to school, now the tiny is also going to school, and that means a lot of stuff's up in the air. But right now, because Oz's mom is in town, we haven't discussed like what we're doing with content creation and our schedules, because it's all up in the air while we have a house guest. So more to come soon, I guess is what I mean. Supporting friends is easy when they're also entertaining. Aw, Basura. You give me so many compliments tonight. I put Megalovania and on in my background. Is Megalovania an actual thing? I know that as just a genre of games. You guys think we will ever see H2O Delirious's real face, who's behind the mask? Then again, I feel like the whole mystery of him behind the mask is part of his charm. I feel like, so a lot of people do, VTuber, PNG tuber, masked performances. One of my favorite acts right now in music is Sleep Token. The guy that leads Sleep Token always wears a mask in everything that he ever does. I personally prefer people not exposing themselves who they are. The mystique, the sort of world build that you get from that, the lack of identity, the missing components of a person draw you in. They make you curious. They make you thirsty to understand more and more about that person. And every little insight, every little tidbit you learn about somebody who maintains that kind of persona is fuel to help you understand them on a deeper level. I almost wish I had started content creation in the same path where I had a deep mystery about me and I slowly unveiled bits and pieces of that so that people could get to know me over time in that way. But I also feel like that's a huge commitment to be able to like map out, here's everything you don't know about me. Okay, this week or this month, I'll give you this much. And then we'll time release that so that you're all satisfied and allured. You won't leave me, but you're not fulfilled yet so that you'll give up. I don't know. It seems cool. I would have loved to have done it myself, but I like the people that leave a certain amount of mystique about them. It's my theme. Oh, cool. I have respect for people behind a mask or character. Yeah, me too. Me too. I have way too much going on to be all like, this is me in a single sit down. If I try to be dominating the conversation past the point of arrogance. Yeah, I feel like I couldn't do I did a lore stream once as a thank you for hitting a certain milestone. We reached partnership with YouTube for the second time in my YouTube career, and I did a lore stream. But I feel like that lore stream, it's hard to just talk about oneself for so long. Just me the whole time. And two, I felt because it was like live on the internet and saved as a VOD forever, that I edited my life very heavily. So maybe one day I'll do like a Discord exclusive where I go back over the lore stream and I fill in the gaps and give people like a better understanding of who I really am without all that editing. But it's not going to be saved as a VOD. There are things about my life I don't want permanently on the internet, or I need to vet the audience before I admit certain things. Yeah. So for that, I apologize. Lore was not as big of a dump as to who I am as I wished it could have been. Yeah. Been doing some research on the crossplay for Baldur's Gate 3. It looks like it's much easier than I anticipated. Even if mods are added, you don't have to go searching. It doesn't automatically. I don't know what that means, but sounds like it's going to be easier than you thought. That's good. A lore stream makes sense. We're here to see you as a chatter, though. Yeah, I feel like I want to do like a really vulnerable lore stream in my near future, and maybe even pull up the YouTube lore stream and go over the points that I like skipped or edited, because I had notes on what I would say, and I'd get to a certain point and I'm like, shit, this is going to be preserved on YouTube forever. I'm not going to say this. So I edited down so much from my original intent on that stream. And in fact, lore actually lasted 2 days because I didn't get through it all in one stream. But I don't want it saved as a VOD. That's the big thing. It's real easy. Only annoying bit is PC players have more mods and need to downgrade some. Why do they need to downgrade? Wahaj, hello and welcome. Sorry, I usually don't call out lurkers, but I'm excited to see that particular lurker. I'm a fellow YouTuber with what's 5-4? Did you mean 504 subs? Been making vids since early December. Awesome. If anybody wants to go sub to Sans on YouTube, by all means. See what they're up to. I believe it's called Nexus mods that haven't been approved by the developers of Baldur's Gate. I feel like Nexus mod, that modding community has been around for a long time, maybe a decade, maybe longer. Baldur's Gate needs to get real cool real fast and allow Nexus mods to be part of their stuff. When you get done with all this, you should play a game called Subnautica. I've heard that's pretty good. Silvos, who was just here earlier, used to stream Subnautica, and it looked pretty interesting. I've never tried it myself. There's an approval process for Baldur's Gate mods to be on console, much faster for mods to come to PC. That's fair. Still a ton of mods coming across console and PC. Good. I'm glad people are supporting more than just the PC community out there. All right, you and the other monsters ditch Jerry when it looks away. Bye. Oh, we have to do another dodge thing. I really don't want to do this. Ah, shit. I didn't think I was going to respawn right in the middle of some damage. Okay, we should be able to mercy this now. Flee. Wait, spare. Spare. Excellent. 25 gold. Hell yeah. Console is something like 600 mods. Oh, okay, that's good. Oh, six. Oh, you were trying to... I see. You were trying to hit backspace on 5. You have only 6 subs right now? We need to fix that. Anybody who's watching this, if you want to pull up a spare browser tab, go check out Sans and their YouTube channel. How'd you get the name Sans? I feel like that's something that should have been taken a long time ago. Okay. What is... Oh, we're uncovering something here. Hello? It's very snowy here. I feel like it's really hard to see what I'm looking at here. There's an X here. This looks like a map of sorts with a few different rooms. And this X is between 2 little black dots. Good, good, good. Oh, 3 black dots, like in the middle of a triangle there. It's not going to be going forward, though, because we have spikes right there. So we'll have to figure out where this is. Is this a map of the room we're in right now? If so, will we find it over here? Oh, yeah. 3 trees might be the 3 dots that we're seeing. I feel like this might be the place where we find the X marks the spot. Right now I'm doing a max level gunslinger playthrough with extra mini bosses and extra encounters, trying to do it as a 2-person run. In Baldur's Gate 3, they have gunslingers? I'm just so out of the loop, sorry. My YouTube is Sans714. Wait, why is it 714? Are you at 714 area code? Because just curious. I'm just doing a vanilla run, playing around with the new subclasses. Good stuff. Okay, how do we find out? Do we do a search? There's a switch hidden in the snow. Click. Hell yeah. Look at us solving puzzles. Oh, there goes the spikes. We did it. We did it, fam. Uh-oh. What's going on? Hello? Are those executioner axes? Are those 2 doges? There's so many dogs in this game already. I wonder if that's just the whole game is like 10% random monsters like skellies and daisies and cows and 90% dogs. Gunslinger's a mod, though it is also a fighter subclass created by Matthew Mercer. Oh, neat. It made you put the numbers? Oh, because there's other Sanses on YouTube, probably. I'm having too much fun with Swarm Keeper Ranger. Exciting stuff. What's that smell? Where's that smell? If you're a smell, identify your smell. That's cute. Oh, here they go. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. Here's that weird smell. Path of the Giant Barbarian is really fun. Involves throwing weapons and enemies around. That sounds fun. It makes me want to eliminate. Wait, does eliminate mean kill a person, or does eliminate mean go take a pee? Why do I think like eliminate means pee? Does it? In my brain, that verb can mean go take a bathroom break, but I don't know why that is. 100% gonna do a giant barbarian druid when I level up enough. Oh, evacuate. Yeah, evacuate. It's probably different than eliminate. Eliminate you. Uh-oh. Here we go. Doji assault you. Hi. It looks like a... Oh, they look like they're in love. There's a little heart. When they boop the snoot, a little heart comes up. Want to see how big I can make the owlbear wild shape? Yikes. All right. Dogami and Dogaressa. Those are interesting names. Is there any new games that you look forward to playing? If so, which ones would they be? I haven't seen a lot on the horizon that I personally am super stoked to play. I like scary games, but I feel like a lot of game developers that work in horror do the same boring bullshit that I see in a million other games. It's like always limited resources, cat and mouse, you're a one-hit kill, and the enemy is gonna, if they see you, they can immediately kill you. Or the opposite, you have weapons and then you're a badass, and then the enemies are just like, you shoot them and then they all die, which is also not horrific if you can kill them. I'm not sure what I'm looking forward to. Yeah. I personally, I like multiplayer games, and I like games with a lot of a dark, spooky vibe. And I feel like the combination of playing with people and playing scary doesn't match up, because when you play with other people, it lightens the mood. When you play solo games, I feel like a lot of scary games fall short of being really scary. They just make you either too weak or too strong. I don't know what I'm looking for. I don't know what I'm excited about. I'm highly influenceable right now. Not influential. You can influence me very well right now. To be fair, D, you were warned about the dogs. Oh yeah. Let's go for Dogami first. Dogami. Oh, I didn't want to fight you. I don't want to fight you. Shit. Number 2, Nuzzle Champs 98. Oh god, oh wait, there's blue. If you don't, ow, if you don't move in the blue, you're fine. The dogs are practicing for the next couples contest. I love that. We need act. I'm most likely gonna be getting you Baldur's Gate. Oh, how dare you? That sounds nice. Check, re-sniff, pet, roll around. Can we roll around? You roll around in the dirt and snow. You smell like a weird puppy. Is that good? I'd love to see D play Baldur's Gate. Really? Is that a general consensus with everybody? Of course we were second. Why were you second? Oh. Oh. Don't move through the blue and you'll be fine. Oh my god. Dogs may want to re-smell you. Yeah? Can we re-sniff them? Dogs sniff you again. After rolling in the dirt, you smell all right. Hey, what smells like a... Are you actually a little puppy? I am a little puppy. Ow, ow. Oh. The dogs think that you may be a lost puppy. Well, I am. I am. Are you... Why aren't we happy yet? Re-sniff me. You re-sniff me too. The dogs already know you smell fine. Oh, shit. Then what do I do next? Oh, God. Oh, God. What is this? Oh. Oh, those are axes. What the... Why the big axes then? Why do I hurt so bad? Can we pet them? Let's pet them. You should try Fallout. So I haven't played the old Fallouts, the top downs, but I've played Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 pretty extensively. 3, I played many hours on one playthrough, and then I started on a second one that I quit after like 2 hours because I thought I could play the game as evil, and it turns out my conscience wouldn't let me. So I gave up. Fallout 4, I beat the game and then continued to play, trying to build like the best base ever. And I spent way too much time doing that. Way too much time. But I'd love to play more. I've never played New Vegas, and a lot of people love the crap out of New Vegas. So I'd love to stream that, I think, in my future. I love to watch you play Baldur's Gate 3. There are a lot of situations with heavy moral implication to them that would suit the discourse aspect of your stream. Oh, I like that. Anything where we can do deep dives. I appreciate that. Okay, we're petting Dogamy. Wow, pet by another pup. Well, don't leave me out. Okay, we won't. I promise. Oh God. How do you even dodge those? There's no way. I'm taking so much damage. I'm gonna die to these guys. Can we do we have anything that will have a wonderful day? We recovered 15 hit points. Thank God. Take my wife's. Please. Don't actually. Oh God, not the freaking blades again. Oh my God. We still took damage. Damn it. Okay, let's do a pet on Doggeressa. I don't know how to not take damage from the axe part. I'm doing speech to text. Yeah, I can tell. Believe me, everyone can tell. ESO has a ton of those too. Oh, that's cool. Oh, sorry, I'm skipping a lot. I feel like you'd enjoy Baldur's Gate, especially with how much you can talk your way out of trouble. That's me. When I played Fallout 3, I played Fallout 3 like a bard. I got massive social skills, and I ignored almost every combat skill. I just stealthed my way through the game, and then speech checked my way through almost every encounter. I made friends with like everybody. I played a very pacifist version of Fallout 3, and it did really well. The game lends itself to people who are not trying to fight. I still ended up, shooting some people, but I was impressed with how much of the game you could play, not just shooting and exploding everything all the time. Yeah. Baldur's Gate also has the ability to stop and talk at any point in the game, even during combat. That's cool. Guys, Fallout genocide route? I don't know what that means. Baldur's Gate tends to reward creative solutions. Oh, I like that. Be it in good loot or funny dialogue. If I can dialogue my way through stuff, then I'm in a good game. All right. What if we pet Doggeressa then too? A dog that pets dogs. Amazing. What about me? I already pet you. Oh God. Ooh. There we go. There's the secret. The dogs' minds have been expanded. Yes, they're both good. They're both good. Mercy these folks. Mercy these kind doggos that also stabbed me a bunch. I literally just dialogued my way through something, though. Better if it went back and just killed them. God, your text-to-speech sucks. I'm not quite sure what any of that meant. I think in my first playthrough, I talked my way out of 7 boss fights. Nice. Baldur's Gate 3 actually lets you use human logic, not game logic. It's so fun to do shit in a way that you swear won't work, then it does. I really appreciate that. There's some older games that have some of that, but I feel like it's much more of a newer game idea for them to... It must be like a game tester thing, right? You set out your QA people on the game. You say, try everything, and anything that ends up at a dead end will develop into a different dialogue tree, a different conditional path for you. We'll make that stuff happen. That stuff is really cool. In older games, I feel like it was pretty rare when you saw a cool outcome like that. When you did, it was really refreshing, but in modern games, they do a little bit better at making you feel like you're not just closed in on the experience. I remember when I was playing EverQuest 1, I don't know if somebody had looked up a guide or had tried this out of nowhere or how the hell this happened, But you come up to this elf and she says, "What house are you from?" And if you don't know the right answer, she just doesn't connect with you on... It looks like she's looking for a quest, you know. If you tell her what house you're from and it's the right house, she'll continue on the dialogue the way you wanted to. But in EverQuest, there's no like you choose from a bank of answers. You have to actually type a response. So you'd have to know the name of the house she's looking for to start this quest. But I swear, I was there and I saw another player answer, "I'm from the House of Pancakes." I have a feeling they had to have looked up a guide or something to know to say that. But they said that. And when they said, "I'm from the House of Pancakes," she said, "You look like you ate a house of pancakes," in response. And it was just, it didn't progress the quest, but it was very clever that they added that in. So if you said House of Pancakes, she'd respond to your I don't know. Stuff like that, where it looks like the developers are actually engaged in the community in some way, and they care about how you interact with the game well outside of the one path they want you to do. Yeah. I thought better of it, went back and killed them. What? Oh, okay. Dialogue your way through something, but went back and killed them anyways. Gotcha. Genocide is the route in Undertale when you kill everyone and fight me. I'm probably not going to do that one. That's for sure. You also get all the experience from fights you avoid via dialogue. Oh, that's cool. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's okay. I'm probably not gonna do any genocidal run. When I come back and play this game a second time to do genocide, I don't know. We have so many games on schedule right now. Going back and doing a second play of Undertale, probably not in the cards. Not anytime soon. Yeah. 40 gold. Thanks, doggos. Dogs can pet other dogs? A new world has opened up for us. Thanks, weird puppy. Oh, you're so welcome. Thanks for hurting me a lot in that combat. That hurt quite a bit before I figured out what the heck to do to not get hurt. You're probably gonna need to do a second playthrough because you avoided what I wanted to tell you. Gotcha. I think I know what it is that I did wrong that would require a second playthrough. We'll see. We'll see. I'm going to go through this playthrough and we'll see how it all works out. Turn every X into an O, then press the switch. Okay. Well, this is maybe easy. Oh, I did it. How about you? Oh, I did it. I see Papyrus. Shmendrick, hello and welcome. You didn't do anything wrong. This game is about your experience. Ignore everyone and do what you feel and want. Thank you. I appreciate that. I have heard that this community can be prescriptive, i.e., they watch you play Undertale and they tell you this is how Undertale needs to be played. You need to play it this way to play the game. But really, a game is made to be played how you discover it, right? My choices might be different than everybody else's, and especially being completely agnostic to the game, I might make suboptimal choices. That's okay. I'm comfortable with that. La Caja de Latam. Hello and welcome. Why Americans don't play chess? I play chess. I'm teaching my kids how to play chess because they don't have the two towers. Ah, got him. Got him. It's true. It's true. Although I think there's still two towers. They're just made of light now, I guess. Sadly, a lot of Undertale fans don't get that and just want to direct people to what they consider the best ending. Thank you for the lurk, Jam. You heading out for the night? It is late in some time zones. Thank you for being here, Jam. Appreciate your face. You know, Jam, I actually watched the stream where I met you for the first time because I'm looking at old streams to find like good clips to make, and it was fun. I was like, oh wait, there's the night where we met Jam for the first time. It's good times. Anyway, have a good night. It's out of love, but they must misunderstand the game. True. If the game has multiple endings and I stumble upon one of those endings, that was the ending I was intended to see based on the type of play style that I have. If it's not the best ending, that's fine. That means that ending, the best ending, was not the one that I was intended to see based on the way I like to play games. Yeah. And if there's stuff I should know to get to the best ending, if the game designers made the game in such a way that I wouldn't naturally find that stuff myself, that was purposeful too. So if I found the best ending because you all guided me away from the way I would naturally play the game, we're already in a bad territory. Yeah, because you're guiding me away from my natural experience. Yeah, I think you have it right. I appreciate that, Schmendrick. Thanks. Being suboptimal is half the fun. I agree. I would rather see the bad ending on the game than be guided away from the way I would naturally play a game, just so that I could see the best ending. Is your name a reference to The Last Unicorn? Oh, right, Schmendrick. The wizard from that game, right? Of the game, from that movie, right? The powerful wizard summons Robin Hood and his lackeys. I forgot about that. True. I want my kids to see The Last Unicorn. That was great. Wasn't the soundtrack by America? Good stuff. I will say I don't think you can get the pacifist ending on your first playthrough. At least that's what I've been told. That's okay. This game is quite well designed. Indeed, it naturally guides you toward different things. I would say the game is it makes me feel like I'm doing a certain thing a certain way, but then it keeps throwing curveballs at me. So whatever sort of ending I'm moving toward, I'm definitely not getting there pure, making a lot of mistakes along the way, and that's okay. Okay, we cleared the spikes. What? How did you avoid my trap? And more importantly, is there any left for me? Traps? What do you tell Papyrus about his spaghetti? Oh, is that what he's asking about? The spaghetti? I left it, let's be honest. Let's not lie. The fact is, it was frozen solid. Really? Wowie. You resisted the flavor of my home-cooked pasta? Just so you could share it with me? Fret not, human. I, Master Chef Papyrus, will make you all the pasta you could ever want. Yeah. Well, that's awfully nice. So, because I didn't eat the pasta, which you cannot eat anyway, he's gonna make me more. Hopefully this pasta won't freeze over. Hi, buddy. My brother started a saw collection recently. How saddening. Sometimes I wonder what he would do without such a cool guy taking care of him. Oh, okay. I mean, sock collections have probably happened in the course of our history as well. I feel like when you hear people like, I'm just going to pick on him because he's fun to pick on, RFK Jr. saying something like, you never saw autism before like the 2000s. You have no fucking idea what autism looks like. And the fact that we had so many generations of people who would just be like, you know what? I'm just going to go live in a shed behind our house and I'm going to work on hobbies. I'm going to just whittle wood for the rest of my life. Even though I have a wife and children, I'm going to go back here and whittle wood. Or I'm just going to make a whole train city all by myself I'm going to collect stamps. I'm going to learn every fact there is about stamps ever and put them in these books and save them and talk about them and trade them with other stamp collectors. Let's be real. Autism has been around a long ass time. It just didn't have that title. So the fact that anybody would say, "Oh, that's so weird that autism came out much more recently in humankind, and maybe it's related to vaccines or something." It's like, no, we've always had that weirdness about us. There's always been a percentage of people that's like, okay, you are very neurospicy, and that's okay. We'll figure out a way to bring you into society as well. So that's where my socks have been going. Yeah, sorry, Sans is taking them all. Autism has always been here. They used to call it the odd guy. Exactly, or other stuff. Sometimes even weirdo, simply because we don't understand or handle social cues. Sans like, nuh-uh. Right? There's always been somebody in the family. It's like, they don't hang out with people. They don't chat. They're like, you go to a family get-together, and they're the person who's like wandering or hiding in like a back room or something, or having like a very private or one-on-one experience. And it's like, okay, yeah, we get it. Or this person really deals with like animals better than people. Like, oh, I'm gonna find the cat at this family get-together, and me and the cat are gonna hang out. My identity will be the guy who loves cats. Or the person that brought his own hobby to a party. And modern times, you see this as like, you know, somebody brings like a mobile game console, or who's on their phone at a party. And people are like, I feel like older people look at younger folks at parties and go, why would you go to a party, take out your cell phone, and talk to people who aren't at the party about how much fun you're having at the party, when you're literally just hanging out in a hallway on your cell phone and you're not actually involved in the party? And the answer is, there's a significant more amount of people than you'd expect that do not want actual face-to-face flesh in the flesh interactions with other people. But they want to be known as somebody who went to a party, or somebody who enjoys fun things. And so they engage themselves with these like high-level social interactions, and then they do the social function in the way that best makes sense to their brains, right? And that's fine. We don't all have to be extroverts. We didn't have the word flu before, so people in the past were definitely possessed by demons. Oh yeah, they didn't have a flu, that's for sure. Hey D, how about you don't call me out on what I do at family gatherings? Not everybody can, you know, have the best family. Some of us have really nice, engaging, wholesome families. I'm lucky that my mom's side is very vast. I have many aunts and uncles, many, many cousins, and lots of kids of cousins. I guess those would be second cousins. And they are all so sweet. They're very different from each other. They're very fun and engaging, and I have great memories and great experiences with all my aunts, uncles, and cousins. But that's not guaranteed in most families. You know, you don't necessarily have that scenario. In which case, if you do come to holidays and you happen to be on your phone or in a corner or with a pet, maybe that's the best experience you could have. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm 40 and I only realized I'm in the spectrum in the last couple of years. Interesting. A nephew is autist too, and I've been reading a lot about it. Sometimes it does take somebody else calling forth like what the lifestyle and paradigm on the world is like for you to sort of see it, right? Some things you need to see through the lens of a different person first, I would say. Yeah, it's hard to spot, right? Either stay in the corner or pull somebody aside to play billiards. Nice, that's good. It's easy not to have a bad time at family get-togethers when you just don't go. I guess so. I'd like engaging my family if I could afford California and be around my family all the time. I would have preferred that. The reasons why we're here are complex, but I do miss being in Southern California to be close to family. Papyrus, what are we having for dinner? Papyrus, your pet rock. What? How dare they? Sans, no. Gotta say, we made a ton of progress in these 2 hours. Shut up. These streams are for us, not for the game. It's for what you gather from being part of this community. Right? Right? Human. How do I say this? You were taking a long time to arrive, so I decided to improve this puzzle by arranging the snow to look more like my face. Unfortunately, the snow froze to the ground. Now the solution is different, and as usual, my lazy brother is nowhere around. I suppose what I'm saying is, were you not human, I, the Great Papyrus, will solve this conundrum, then we can both proceed. Meanwhile, feel free to solve the puzzle. Try the puzzle yourself. I'll try not to give away the answer. Oh, well, thank you. Does it look like his face? I don't feel like it does. Maybe a little bit. Doesn't stop me from having a laugh, though. I've been called out so many times for not actually playing the game and for just engaging with you all. But here's the thing. If you all got pissed off enough, you would say, stop talking to us and play the game. Or somebody in chat would stop chatting. Or all of you would stop chatting. And then the game would go forward. And here's the other thing. This game is old, right? You could just go watch a Let's Play. You could watch a non-narrated version of somebody just going through this game. You're not here for that. I'm not here for that. I don't want to just hunker down and play a game alone without talking to you guys. Oh, Twitch ads. Okay. Even better time for me to stop and chat people up. Because some of you are behind an ad wall right now. I gather we're really good at getting sidetracked. I would argue that the game is the sidetrack and our conversations, our community build is the reason why we're really here. So the game is the sidetrack. I love my family, but some of my sibs are the type that love to dredge up ancient, embarrassing stories when we get together. I don't feel like that's necessarily a bad thing, which to me is a bit trying. That's pretty much my only gripe. If people had embarrassing stories to tell about me, I don't know if I'd necessarily be embarrassed because they're probably all in the past. And like past me had a lot of shortcomings. If somebody said, oh yeah, you were really arrogant when you were younger, you were really egotistical, you're really self-centered, you were really zealous, you didn't care for other people in a good way, I'd be like, yeah, yes, I agree. I was cringe. But most people are. Most people are more cringy when they're younger and figure it out later on if they continue to grow. Some people stay cringe, you know, they stop at like 16 and however much cringe they were at 16, they're that level of cringe when they're 40. They're that level of cringe when they're 60. And they just don't learn beyond that. And that's fine too. Then the embarrassing stories are not just from the past, but they also give you context of who they are today because they've never grown past that. I don't think embarrassing stories are necessarily bad. As long as they're in the past and they're long since past, they're really just informational at that point. Undertale is a bit slow in this bit. Pappy really takes his time. Oh, gotcha. He's being slow with me, playing the slow play. Papyrus is just adorable. I feel bad for him. I feel like Sans is the guy that's kind of like dialed in, and he's just looking out for his derpy brother who's completely clueless as to what's really going on. Yeah. We did spend an hour staring at frozen spaghetti. How dare you, Toady? How dare you? That's just how this stream goes. It was fascinating. True, it was. Great. I'd love to have such well frozen spaghetti. Nuggets on the move. Wait, where are your nuggets going? And how are they moving? Hello and welcome. Just so you know, you ever catch me being too much of a little shit, just call me out on it. I like little shits in my life. If you had any doubt just know Oz is both goblin and brat, and that's normal and comfortable between the two of us. She's a Sour Patch Kid. First she's sour, then she's sweet. And that's just how we roll. So you can be a little shit all you want. You probably won't bother me. What do you think about the Salem witch trials, which were like a very long time ago? Seems a little barbaric and disturbing for the stuff that they did. Absolutely. Oz and I, for our honeymoon, went to the Witch Museum in Salem, Massachusetts, and learned about the witch trials through theatrics and dioramas and statues and stuff while they tell the story there. We're very pagan and neo-pagan positive in this household. And it's crazy the things that organized religion has stepped in to do against people in order to try to create a conformity. The first people that would eventually become like the Masons and Illuminati and all those sort of people were also like attempted to be stamped out by the Catholic Church, who was in power in Europe at the time. They burnt their leader to the stake. There's so many atrocities created by deep organized religion in history, less so these days, but it still exists to some degree where there's some really militant religious groups out there. I feel bad for anybody that was either of a different religion that got attacked, killed, assimilated in whatever way. But I also feel bad for the people that were accused and didn't really have anything antagonistic to the church, but because they were in the wrong place at the wrong time, or somebody just disliked them and they got implicated in some sort of accusation. Sometimes somebody's word was enough. It's brutal. It's brutal what's happened in our past, just based on that kind of stuff. I just don't see the value in putting people in a space where they're uncomfortable for the sake of the humor of the others. It's too close to bullying for my comfort. I'm okay with a little bit of mild bullying. There's a little bit of bullying in me, but I try not to do it too much unless that's somebody's humor and I know it. So if that's the way somebody likes to play, then I like to pick on them and tease them a little bit. But if that hasn't been established, I don't naturally act sarcastic, biting, or teasing with people regularly. Our kids know very little of teasing behavior. Oz teases them a little bit. I don't tease them at all. I don't poke fun. I don't mess with them. I generally am very genuine with our kids because I feel like American sarcasm is a little bit too thick and it creates an anti-global culture. Because once you start getting to know people from other countries and other cultures, you realize that sarcasm is really not that prevalent in most of the world. And it makes Americans look kind of weird. Like, why make somebody awkward? Why say untrue things all the time to try to make a joke? It seems really... Once you try to explain sarcasm to somebody who comes from a culture that does not have sarcasm, you realize in the explanation how, like, bitter, jaded, and kind of mean it is to be a sarcastic person all the time. So I don't do it that often, especially not with the kids. Pappy is my second favorite character. I don't know that character yet. Brat and Goblin, that's what we call a boblin. Sounds about right. I'm glad they got rid of the witches. How dare you, Stuart? My family is basically witches. Which witches? Which witches? Wait, you're also in Twitch? Sans, you're everywhere. My favorite chase when it comes to a story is probably Joan of Arc. She cares so much for her people and her religion, but in the end, they betrayed her and killed her, burning her alive. Yeah, that's a hefty story. I feel like she was so bought into the religion, but she was disparate from what people expected. And so they felt like because she didn't conform, they couldn't manage her. And if you can't manage somebody, at least in the olden days, you had to do something else with that person. And they did what they knew to do. Sans, I appreciate you watching me on every platform you can find me on. Chances are, if you know a streaming platform, I'm also live streaming there. Because we also live stream on Twitch, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Kick, and on Trovo, all at the same time. Oh, that's Papyrus. Duh. What if they switched witches? How would we know which a witch switched unless there was a snitch? Aren't you guys cute? Cute. Okay. How do we make all of these a circle? We go through here and then through there. Nope, can't do it that way. We go there and then nope, that doesn't work either. We go across there. No, that won't work either. We go up, over. Nope, that wouldn't work either. There's a place right in the center of. Oh, hi. He's like moving closer to me. There's a centerpiece that I feel like I have to cross twice, almost no matter what. So how do we? Oh, hang on. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. We. Oh yeah, you still have to cross that one. Cross there and up, and then over, down. Oh no, that ends up hitting that one twice. How do we make that one just a one touch? There's one I cannot see as a one touch. So wait. Oh no, that doesn't work either. Damn. We go over, up. Damn. No. I'm adorable. Toady, you are a little bit adorable. I agree. I'm gonna go for tonight. Thank you for popping in. Please, I encourage you to follow, sub, do the whole shebang so that you find me later on. I can't save the game right now, but I will do that as soon as I can. One thing that I feel like my community lacks, I get a lot of views, especially the last 2 weeks since I've been posting a lot of clips of my show. I've been getting lots and lots of viewership. You know what the one thing I don't get is people actually adding, following, subbing to me. So you will see me in your feed once and then you'll probably never find me again. So if you just are comfortable doing that one extra step, adding another follower to all of my socials, it really helps the algorithm. Even if you're not the person who's going to watch future shows because you're like, oh, you know, this isn't really a cultural fit for me. I don't think like this is really like for me. You doing the follow and maybe then turning notifications off afterwards, you still encourage other people later on to come find me who might be a better fit. So it's helpful along the way. And I appreciate anyone who does that. Thank you. Okay. I go down and up. No matter what, I have to cross. No, that's not true. I can step on that, then go up and around and over. I think I can do this. We would touch this one, step back, touch this one, and step back. And then go around in a loop for the rest. Yeah. Choop choop. Oh, we never read that sign. I'm so dumb. Yeah, look at all those circles. All I needed was to stare at it just a little bit, and I figured it out. Turn every X into an O, then press the switch. What do you have to say? So, you want a hint, huh? Well, I've been looking at the puzzle, and I think the solution is to turn all of the X's into O's. You should try that. Ask again for more great hints. Oh, thanks. You're so helpful. All right. Wow, you solved it. My advice helped. It really helped you. Incredible. I'm impressed. You must care about puzzles like I do. Well, I'm sure you'll love the next puzzle then. It might even be too easy for you. Yeah. Okay, you're so jovial. Pappy Genius, best tips. Oh yeah. He's got the craziest. Oh, there's a Sans. Well, hello and welcome. We'd be boned without him. I see what you did there. That's a real knee slapper. Good job on solving it so quickly. You didn't even need my help. Which is great, because I love doing absolutely nothing. Well, thanks, buddy. What are these patches of no snow for? Well, doesn't matter. Okay, new puzzle. It's different. Uh-oh. Hey, it's the human. You're gonna love this puzzle. It was made by the great Dr. Alphys. You see these tiles? I sure do. Once I throw the switch, they will begin to change color. Each color has a different function. Red tiles are impassable. Okay, I will remember that. You cannot walk on them. Gotcha. Yellow tiles are electric. They will electrocute you. So probably don't walk on them. What the heck? I can't say anything on YouTube no more. What happened with YouTube? Did it block you? Are you banned? Shadow banned? Good luck with this one. You'll need it. Green tiles are alarm tiles. If you step on them, you'll have to fight a monster. Oh, that's okay. Orange tiles are orange scented. Oh, I like that. They will make you smell delicious. Blue tiles are water tiles. Swim through if you like, but what? If you smell like oranges, the piranhas will bite you. Okay. Don't touch blue after orange. Got it. Also, if a blue tile is next to a yellow tile, the water will zap you. Okay. Purple tiles are slippery. You'll slide to the next tile. However, the slippery soap smells like lemons, which piranhas do not like. What the? Oh, this guy is like every D&D and board game player I've met. You want to play a new board game? I know this new board game. It's like Settlers of Catan and Betrayal on the House on the Hill. Wait, what is that game called? Betrayal. But it also has like an economy side game where you have these other cards and you have this slider and you have this other resource that you use these little red gem pieces for. And we're going to take 30 minutes to understand the macro economy of the side game so that you can play the actual game itself. It's like, fuck. Have you ever met somebody like this where they find like the most convoluted hard games to play ever and there's no, like, you need to crash course, you need to sit there and listen to a college lecture to know how to play the game that they're trying to teach you? Like, holy shit. I played this one game. It was Warhammer based, and it was like an overworld map where you would settle different areas on the map. You would build resource buildings that would generate different resources for you, and then you'd make troops, and then you'd send those troops out, and you'd try to gain more ground. It was Risk, but with extra steps. And I had a friend who bought me the game, started to teach me how to play, but we were in a public Discord, and this other guy came in. He was not playing the game with us. And he wasn't teaching us how to play the game, but he wanted to tell me about Warhammer Dwarven history for a fucking hour while I'm trying to just learn how to play this game. He's teaching me Warhammer Dwarven history. And he didn't realize how much of our time he was soaking up. Because I had questions about what I needed to do in the game next. I was like waiting to do my next turn. I just wanted to ask my friend, oh, should I build another building or should I send my troops over here? Like how should I do my next turn? And I'm waiting to get a word in edgewise to ask my friend what to do, while this not friend of mine, who happened to be in this Discord server, needed to tell me an hour's worth of Dwarven history in a lore base that I'm not that particularly invested in. And I was like, wow, today I remember nothing of what this person said except how much time of mine he wasted where I could not talk about the actual game we were playing while I listened to him say a bunch of shit I had no buy-in on whatsoever. Anyway. Undertale's humor? Yeah, definitely. Piranhas don't like lemons? How fucking dare they, right? If this is good advice, you can skip dialogue. Oh, I know I can skip it. I'm okay not skipping. Papyrus really just went out all out on this one. This guy is definitely the guy who told me all of that Dwarven lore. Not gonna lie, I'd love to learn about Dwarven history. If that's what you log into a Discord server for, you're like, hey, today I'd really love to know something deeper about Warhammer history. Is there anybody who can teach me in a fun way? I'd be like, cool, this guy's probably your guy. I was trying to play a game that somebody bought for me for free. I mean, not for free. He bought it for me. And then we were going to play together. And so to have this hour-long side excursion that I didn't ask for, it was just tone deaf. You know what I mean? That's really bad advice. Undertale has a good amount of story and lore, character development concealed in dumb jokes and random text. I'm probably not going to skip. Yeah, probably not going to skip the text unless it's stuff that's like I talk to somebody and then I talk to them a second time and they say the same thing over again. Then I'll probably skip the text the second time. Yeah. I'd hate for it to be sprung on me out of nowhere, but I can dive into lore for hours. I do like some lore, but I have to feel like I want to know about that world's lore. I did want to know about the Game of Thrones / Song of Ice and Fire world's lore. So I've done some research in that one. Lord of the Rings, the Drizzt Do'Urden Forgotten Realms books by R.A. Salvatore. Wheel of Time. I love the lore of that world as well. But I'm not a big, like, besides those like 4 or 5, I don't dive deep into sci-fi and fantasy a lot. I only have like a tourist's level of knowledge in some worlds, or deeper level in some worlds, but tourist in most of those aspects. I haven't read much beyond those, you know. Just because I read those doesn't mean I'm like completely bought into fantasy. Out of all the sci-fi I've read, which is only like 2 or 3 books, I haven't been inspired to go out and buy and sit and read lots more sci-fi as a result. My most read genre, personally, is like postmodernist surrealism. So like Jack Kerouac, Christopher Moore, Chuck Palahniuk, if I'm saying his name right, and Haruki Murakami. So books more like that. So I don't know if anybody in my community that I've built so far has that proclivity, but that's like where my reading sort of comes from. It's not nearly as much from like a sci-fi or fantasy sort of world. Undertale's mostly a story game. Yeah, I wouldn't want to skip the dialogue for that reason. Warhammer lore is something I touch on every so often, slowed down after I learned about the sex elves. Oh my. I think you'll enjoy this game's lore. It's not as random, dumb, jokey as it portrays to be. I figure, like the Mother games, it feels zany until the story coheres and gives you an understanding of what's going on. Because especially Mother 3 felt so random, and then when you got the big like lore dump from Leader, I feel like everything made cohesive sense. But they wanted you to feel confused for a while. And that was part of it. If he does want to, I just told him, that's all I'm saying. Yeah, you're good. You're good. Bye, see you tomorrow, dude. If you stream and not, I'll watch your videos. Thank you so much. I will be here for another hour and a half or so live streaming. All my videos are on YouTube under the live tab. You can also find them under the playlists tab, because everything in Undertale I have saved under the Mother/Earthbound franchise tab, knowing that playlist. Knowing that Undertale was sort of heavily inspired by Mother, I put it in that same playlist. So you can watch me play Mothers 1 through 3, and then Undertale goes into that same playlist there too. So if you ever have to miss a particular stream, you can catch everything archived on YouTube, for sure. Thank you for popping in. Appreciate you. Something, Planet of Elves got a bit messy and made a god. Okay. Toby, the maker, was super inspired by the Mother games. He made a ROM hack for Earthbound. Yeah, we were talking about that before. He made a couple different games before Undertale, right? One was like a Halloween adventure or something like that. And I forget what the other one was. But yeah, I probably won't play them, but it's nice to know this guy was like, basically what we're doing right now with this time zone, this stream is playing Mother-inspired games now that we've finished the actual Mother franchise. So after Undertale, we also have Omori and the kindergarten games, basically games that look to Mother as their big inspiration. Yeah. Okay. Purple and blue are okay. Finally, pink tiles. Oh, God. They don't do anything. Step on them all you like. How was that? Understand? Sure. Of course I do. Great. Then there's one last thing. This puzzle is entirely random. That's okay. When I pull this switch, it will make a puzzle that has never been seen before. Not even I will know the solution. Yeah, get ready. Oh, here we go. Do I get to see the colors? Or, oh my, it's just going. It's just going. Okay. Can we? Oh. Oh. Okay, bye. Just spun away. Thanks, Papyrus. Thanks, Papyrus. Did you forget what he was telling you before? I learned that. I remember everything. That was a lot of rules. I hope you remember them. I might remember half of them. You're so lucky. Told you needed luck. Oh yeah, I've got so much luck. This looks like an identity flag of some sort, but I don't remember seeing red, pink, red. But this feels like it should be on somebody's wall. All that learning the rules for nothing. You don't know that. It might come up later. This always makes me happy. So when he got to this puzzle, I knew it was going to happen and acted like it needed Teresa's help remembering all the rules. So he spent about 5 minutes writing them down only to have this happen. You're such a troll. You're such a troll. Hey, buddy. Actually, that spaghetti from earlier, it wasn't too bad for my brother. Since he started cooking lessons, he's been really improving a lot. I bet if he keeps it up, next year he'll even make something edible. Oh, I'm glad it was frozen then. Can we hit the randomizer? The machine isn't working. Oh, okay. Well, terrific. Is that another Doge? That looks like a Doge. Doge? Hi, Doge. This dog is staring blankly into the snow, waiting for it to turn into art. Beautiful. Have so much fun with that, won't you? On the floor inside is a box of Pomerasins. Like Pomeranian, but raisins. I wonder if this Doge likes raisins. Okay. What does this sign say? Aware of dog. Not beware, just aware. Please, pet dog. We will pet the dog. Can we save first? That looks like a cow person. Knowing that dog will never give up trying to make the perfect snow dog, it fills you with determination. I feel like every time I reach a save slot, it tells me something random fills me with determination, i.e., all of my health is restored because I saw something happen. Very benign. You're not supposed to feed dogs raisins? What if we do? Okay, this dog will not. We can't pick up the raisins, and we cannot feed this dog. It's all about determination. So what is it about raisins with dogs? Will they eat grapes and raisins are just like sticky or something textural that could cause them to choke or something like that? Like what's going on? If you feed dogs raisins, they die. Is there something in grapes? What's going on there? It's a toxicity thing. Oh, okay. I don't have a dog, so it's not something I need to worry about, but I'm just curious. It's like chocolate? Yeah, maybe. Is chocolate really that dangerous for dogs, or is it just like, does it make them sick? I'm just curious. Again, I don't have a pet, or a pet dog, so it's not like I have to know these things to keep my dog safe when I don't have one. It's worse than chocolate. Is that true of just grapes? Because Stuart says grapes. So raisins, grapes, just that whole, there's something in that. What do they have? I didn't figure they were a particularly toxic fruit for most animals, but maybe they are for dogs. You look like a cow person, like the person who tried to kidnap me at the beginning of the game. That dog considers itself an artist, but doesn't ever know what to create. It probably doesn't help that its brain is the size of a piece of kibble. Oh, that's rude. Small brains can still do great things. Did you know that sponges, sea sponges, have more chromosomes than humans? It's true. It's true. There's a Tool song about humans gaining another 2 chromosomes and how that was going to be like the next evolution of humankind. They didn't come up with the idea themselves. I think James Maynard was a fan of a certain pseudoscientist that talked about the evolution of humankind being like when we were cavemen, we had 2 less chromosomes. I don't know if that's true. And that when we hit an enlightened Age of Aquarius stage, we'll have 2 extra chromosomes. There's so many creatures with way more chromosomes than we have. So I don't know, and they're lesser creatures by a long shot. So I don't know that there's any truth to that claim at all in any way. But it's weird. So to say that somebody has like a small brain doesn't necessarily mean that they're dumber. Maybe not. You don't know. Maybe big brains don't necessarily equate to more smart. More complexity is not always better. Exactly. I think grapes cause dog kidneys to fail. That sucks. Hopefully dogs aren't naturally interested in grapes. Yeah, it's weird. I know that with babies, the reason why you can't feed babies water is because water causes baby kidneys to fail. Like it's too much fluid for it, or it's too... I don't know. I'm not exactly sure the understanding, but it's why you don't just fill a baby bottle full of water and say, hey, suck on this, little newborn. They have to have some more viscous stuff or their kidneys fail, I think. I think that's the answer. Interesting. Okay, well, more circle puzzle, but I think this one is on an icy surface, which means you have to be very cautious how you slide. Can we make this happen? How do we make this happen? Slide. We're sliding. Oh, that's not good. Oh. Oh, what happened to me? Sands, says this rock. It's a lump of snow. Oh, it's snow. With the words sands written on it in red marker. And this guy, it's a sand statue because he's real buff. It's a snow papyrus. Oh, it's papyrus. So sands is just a lump and papyrus is like a Adonis level statue. Interesting. Okay, so we can't just like slide off into oblivion. That's good to know. I think I see the path, and I think it starts this way. Just shows the effort Sans is willing to put into making a statue. True. I'm that way though too. If somebody says we want you to, what's the word I'm looking for? We want you to contribute, not contribute. What's the word I'm looking for? To be a part of something. Collaborate's not right either. Participate, I think would probably be the best. We want you to participate in something everybody is doing. Look, everybody is making a snow statue of themselves. And these are the criteria. It needs to be as tall as you. And it needs to be made of mixed materials, so you can make snow, but for like the eyes and mouth and stuff, you need to contribute other stuff. It can't just be strictly snow. And we're gonna do this in the next hour, and then when the hour is up, we're gonna transition to something else. Go! Chances are what my immediate reaction will be when somebody says participate is to do nothing. My next likely reaction will be to do the bare minimum. I do not like participating in group anything. If we're all sitting and then somebody says, please rise, please everybody stand, or let's all get up together, put our hands up in the air or whatever, I don't want to do it. I want to stay sitting. Or if everybody says, let's all sit and close our eyes, I might sit because sitting is comfortable, but I don't want to close my eyes. I don't like doing things that everybody else is doing. I don't like conformity. I don't like group participation. I don't like being a part of a collective where somebody else tells me what to do with my body. It rankles my hide so bad that I decline almost any invitation to do something that an amassing of other humans are all doing together. I don't know why, but I just hate it. I'm counter-programmed for that kind of stuff. I'm not a good sheep. Why not slide into oblivion? I heard that game was all right. Nice. Okay, so I think the path is this. Go this way, up, left, down, right, more right, down. There. How is that? My brain did this. My own little pea brain came up with this idea. See, I'm not a bad puzzler, but there are many games like the King's Quest games and the Monkey Island games that I played through, and they make me feel so stupid. And it's because I don't necessarily know what the hell the developers are thinking. They have this idea about how you use items, or what you need to say to a person, or what command you need to do, or where you need to go, or what pixel you need to click. And without me knowing what the developers were thinking, and especially if I'm streaming these games for somebody who is on the other side of solving the puzzles, so they have an understanding of how the puzzle was made, I feel like when you know the solution to a puzzle, you're always more charitable to the puzzle developer because you see it after you know the solution. If I tell you, here's my puzzle, here's how you solve it, you will always question why other people have a hard time solving it because you know the solution and they don't, and you don't get them. But put yourself in the shoes of somebody who's completely agnostic to one of these puzzles. And a lot of those games, the King's Quest, Monkey Islands, and that vein of point and clicks especially, being on the agnostic side of those puzzles, I think is brutal in a way that people with nostalgia who know the game's solutions you almost can't find that level of empathy to know why they're struggling or know what they're missing. You know the puzzle, and it's hard to get yourself into the mindset of somebody who doesn't. But the fact is, a lot of those puzzles are far more cryptic than we give credit for, especially when we know the answer. It's almost impossible to bring yourself back to a mindset of innocence. But a puzzle like this one, you just stare at the grid for a while. You can plot out with your eyes different paths and see where it's going to fail. There's no questioning what were the devs thinking, what's their strategy, what's their plan. It's just a matter of logic, right? These kind of puzzles I feel much more adept at because I'm not trying to get into the psychology of a game developer. I'm just looking at a simple rule set. If I slide off the edge, I restart the puzzle. If I touch one of these X's, it stops me from sliding. Pretty easy rules. I slid off the puzzle edge once, and then I knew what to do, and then I solved it. Yeah. I'm not sure if you're aware, but Oblivion should be coming out tomorrow. Oblivion? What do you mean? Oblivion, like the Elder Scrolls game? Isn't there an Elder Scrolls game called Oblivion? Server maintenance? What's going on there? I'm impressed how fast you solved the colors puzzle. Yeah, that one took a lot of clout. All of my brain cells. I need to take another quick AFK. Let me go do that, and I'll be right back, and we'll continue on this path. Thanks for staying with me as slow as we play through this game and as much community connection as we have, and my now 2 AFK breaks. I appreciate your faces. I'll be right back. Tell us about Blood Moon Menagerie in your own words.
I make shiny things. If you like shiny things and you have holes in your face, or if you don't have holes in your face, if you have a neck, I also make shinies for that. I also make shiny things if you wear glasses on your face, because especially if like you bend over and they fall off your face, or you sneeze and they come flying off your face, or you can't fucking find the things that belong on your face. I make a chain for that. Yeah, I do all the shiny things, and if you can't find a shiny thing that you normally like as far as shiny things, I make them how you like them, or whatever. Fuck you. Go away. Buy my stuff. How come hi?
Can you please clip that? All right, jaw. I feel like it's a little bit broader. Oh, this is pretty good. That's pretty good. Again, we're not just going to sit here and micromanage. We just need it a little bit wider in the jaw hinge bone. Oh, Mary broke Gus. Oh, Mary. I will sign this petition. What? Jeez. Ears? I don't think ears are going to matter too much. Did I go New Yorker? I'm a New Yorker, ooh.
Remind me to have Gray do both his Jersey and Ulu.
Yeah. Free first aid. If anybody wants it. Just behind this big tall boy. Ooh.
I see no tall boy.
Oh, wide boy. Ooh. If you see a wide boy at the side of the road. I don't know what you do to him. I just wonder if you do. What might happen? It will. God damn it, dredging tool.
Hey, there's a note wedged in here. Indy, I know you'll find this sooner or later. The
What?
Nazis have kidnapped me.
What?
They must have found something because it looks like we're leaving soon.
Why?
Hurry, I need your help.
Why is there a note in this?
Signed, Sophia.
Yeah. Did this seriously just happen? Did this seriously just happen? Sophia. You put your note in a shovel, Sophia. Okay.
I miss the noseless cam. I should bring that back, honestly. It takes a significant amount of effort to make that nose cam work in every different scene. And I've created new scenes since I've done the nose. I call it the nose killer cam. I don't think I have. Let me check on something. Does this work? It's still there. It's a little bit broken though. A little bit broken. Can we move this whole thing over all in one? Let's see. I'm so outraged right now. I'm gonna move my nose. Yeah, it needs some love. It's a little bit broken, but it's still there. I miss using this. I'm not outraged enough right now to use it though. I'll tell you. I'm absolute garbage at the riddle type puzzles that the Myst series offers. I feel like the Myst riddles are really try things until you exhaust all the answers except the one that we decided to pick. Myst rarely gives you clear keys that are then used to unlock clear puzzles. Myst 1 was better at doing a lot of that. Like, we're going to give you a key. It's not going to be locatively right with the puzzle that you're going to solve, but you will eventually find that puzzle. And this, when you apply the right key to the right puzzle, you'll get the right solution. But it was intermingled with some that were just sort of like not very clear, especially because some of the puzzles in Myst 1 were control scheme based, i.e. it's just a point and click puzzle game. And Myst 1 did something that none of the King's Quest games did, none of the Monkey Island games did, which is not everything was a simple left click. Some things required holding your cursor down, dragging your cursor. It required different controls than I'm used to in a point and click. And so I didn't naturally solve for the parts of the game that would be controlled in novel, in my opinion, novel ways for that genre, especially how old the game was. I figured everything was just a simple left click. And if you couldn't just simply left click it, there was no other way to control the game. I was wrong. Once you learn that, in the future Myst games, they took away a lot of keys. So in other words, there are lots of different puzzles in later Myst games that they didn't give you a key at all that you then later applied to solving a puzzle. They didn't provide cumulative knowledge. Here's a simple low threshold problem. This will come up later with more complexities and will grow your knowledge in the game, like a lot of modern games do. They progressively, cumulatively grow you into their world build. Myst just says, fuck you, no keys, just press things and write down in a notepad what you think happened. Or I hope you find out what happened, because if you don't see what happened, if you don't discover what this switch does, then it's going to be a mystery until you do figure it out. The game is not a puzzle game. The game is a bunch of like random science experiments. We have to do significant research, see what happens when you try every possible outcome, and then hopefully you parse together what the developers were thinking. A riddle gives you a key, and then you try to use that key to solve something a little bit tricky in the end. Myst gives very few keys. It is not very puzzle driven. There's a lot of, I won't say pixel hunting, because the click regions are not as small as a pixel, but there's also a lot of Easter egg hunting in Myst games. So what you think is majority a puzzle game franchise is actually a search for things that we hid around the world game. Did you know you could look up in this room? Did you know if you did look up in this room and then click in a certain area that this window would open, or this door would come apart, or this thing would fall down, and then you have another thing that you can interact with. Myst is about discovering the things that the developers have hid from you, and they didn't give you enough knowledge to find the solution. Myst even did some dirty tricks, like in Riven, where they hid parts of puzzles behind things that you wouldn't think that they were hidden behind. Like, you open a door to get through to the next area, then you have to turn around, close the doors you just opened to get to the new area you're now in, and then behind the closed door is a new hallway that you didn't know was there. That's not a puzzle, that's just a dick move. Right? You gave me a pattern puzzle with defined rules, behaviors, though. I'm golden. I feel the same way. There's my Damien stream plant care alert. Aw, yay. I'm gonna run and make some tea. Celebratory. Oh, celebratory tea. It is 420 in some places, although I think everywhere in the US now except Alaska is... No, maybe even Alaska. I think everywhere is now 421. The Thalos Principle is a good actual puzzle game. I really want to play that one. I've seen a couple fellow streamers play that, and it looks like a good puzzle game made by people, made by people who love puzzles. So I do want to check that out. Nightmare Dream. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to my family of fledglings. Legend of the Grimrock? I haven't heard of that one before. I'll have to do some research. Can somebody DM me the name of that game, Legend of the Grimrock? I'll do some post-stream research on that. Confusion in Hawaiian. Oh, I guess they are a different time zone. Or are they? What's the Hawaiian time zone? Different from Alaska? How's it going? We're doing pretty good. Been enjoying... Wait, what's happened to me? Oh my god, I didn't realize all of that was ice. Was there ice on my head too for a moment there? We've been really enjoying the Undertale story so far. Do we go down or to the right first? Let's try down real quick. Well, hello, Sans. He's just hiding over here. Hi. Hi, buddy. I'll go ahead and pass the fuck out. Thanks, Toady. Thanks for popping in. And thank you for all of your engagement on my clips. I noticed that you recently did a like bomb on a bunch of my old clips, and I appreciate you for that. Undertale, I love Undertale. And Sans. I'm really warming up to this world. It's very different than the mother games were, but it has its own charm. I was being a little creepy. I appreciate your creepiness. It helps with the algorithm quite a lot. Thank you. What's up? Oh, okay. Well, I see a really creepy, very large creature over here. Hello. I guess we can't say hi to these things. Wait. What? Hut. Oh, I guess we're getting in a fight. What the heck is that? Gift trot? Gift trot? This thing is straight out of... Did anybody see the movie The Ritual? This thing absolutely looks like it's from that. Decorate? Why would I undecorate it? Can we give it more decorations? You had some googly eyes you found on the ground. That's adorbs. Adorbs. Go start teenage googly eyes. Oh, he's upset. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ow, that hurt. Gift Trot stumbles blindly. Oh, more decoration. You can't improve on perfection. Oh, okay. I guess it's done being decorated. Ow. Damn, I moved and the blue still hurt. Okay. Let's try gifting. Refuses my gift. Rude. How do I know it's not a trick? Okay. Oh! Damn. 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 Give trust us blindly. Undecorate? Will we be happy then? You remove the googly eyes. Thanks for nothing. Oh. Damn. Taking so much damage. Gift Trap laments its lack of hands. Do we decorate? Can we gift now? Refuses. Damn. You don't know it's not a trick. That's the thing. Ow. Distrust your youthful demeanor. He's like an old man. We'll decorate you again. More googly eyes. Ghost darn teenage googly eyes. Uh-oh. Oh, thank God. What do we do? Do we have an item? I feel like we need... Ugh. You threw the stick away, then picked it back up. Oh, okay. Don't put any more on me. I tried, but it didn't work. Oh. Whoa. Okay, we took no damage that time. Yeah, this deer is it's not happy we're doing whatever we're doing. Decorate? You can improve on product direction. Okay. It's perfect now, apparently. Stumbles blindly. Can we do a check? Attack 16, defense 8. Some teams decorated it as a prank. So did we. It says don't put any more on me, which makes me want to do just that. But... Ah! It's not ready for anything else, though. Do we fight? I don't want to fight it. Leave me alone. I want to. I'm gonna die to this thing. Mercy. Can we just flee? Okay, we escaped it. What? Say. Are you following me? Maybe. I don't know what's over here. Oh, should we have gone? This kind of seems like the way to go. Let's back up. Let's actually go to that save again, because I think that'll restore my health, which is super low now. And hopefully we can just go backwards. No wonder he doesn't like kids. Yeah. Is this puzzle just solved? Uh-oh. Hopefully it is. 'Cause I just unsolved it. Knowing that dog will never give up trying to for something fills you with determination. Okay. We saved. At least there's a save, like, literally right there. So for all that damage we just took, we don't have to worry. Oh, no, no, no! Shh. This is actually not where we wanted to go. We want to go straight across. The path is already set, so that's fine. So what if we go to the right instead? Now I don't know which way to go. They both feel like valid directions. What a tiny doghouse. Woof. Okay, this looks like it's its own forward direction. We're gonna go back to the cave and do the cave. Because this feels like it's its own special. Please don't be one of these. You know what? I'm just gonna run. Don't slow me down. Yeah, I don't trust those deer things. I don't know how to fight that fight. What is up here? What's in here? What is this? It's a door. And? What about these? Oh, they're little mushroom buttons. There's secret. Did not open the door. Is there a pattern we have to do? I don't know what the pattern is. I haven't discovered a pattern yet. I feel like me trying to brute force this is not gonna work. The Teddy just texted, he hid an edible in my bedroom for today. Aw, look at that. That's some good foresight. Would you like a couple tips about that room? It's not something you're likely to find out on your own. I will hold off. I will try to stay roughly spoiler free. If something is left undiscovered by my playthrough, that is okay. If I find it and come back, cool. If I never find it and we don't open that content, I'm comfortable with that. If that makes sense. I've gotten him on a surprise Prezi kick. Nice. It's a snow puff. And this is a snow puff. Wait, did they all say something? This, however, is a snow puff. Surprisingly, it's a snow puff. Snow puff. Did we do this one already? Is it really a snow puff? Behold, a snow puff. Eh? There's 30 gold inside this. What is this? A snow puff, apparently. Hello? That's not a snow puff. Are you a doge? You're a doge. This game designer really does love the cute doge. Oh my. You're not cute. You're big. Well, you're both. You're both cute and big. It's the greater dog. Have I got a stick for you, buddy? Stick. You threw the stick and the dog ran to get it. You played fetch for a while. Nice. Thank goodness I have the stick. Uh-oh. Oh, lots of barks. Oh, many bark. Greater dog is watching you intently. Are we ready for mercy? We are. That was fast. Easy. I love it. I love it. Oh, he popped out of his armor. He's just a tiny doge. And he gave me a cute lick. Oh, and he's leaving tail up. The power of the stick. Seriously. I'm glad it's one of those things. I don't even remember when I picked it up. But then I tried to get rid of it accidentally, inadvertently. And it kept coming back. I have some issues with my... Is there something wrong with my YouTube feed? Hang on. I have this weird warning. Please use a keyframe frequency of 4 seconds or less. Currently, keyframes are... What? What on earth is going on with my stream here? Is everybody watching YouTube? Are you guys doing okay? Open the widget. What does this say? 4 seconds or less. Keyframes are not being sent often enough, which can cause buffering. Current keyframe frequency is 7.9 seconds. Ingestion of errors can cause incorrect group of pictures sizes. I've never heard of this before. I don't even know how to fix this or what it does if it does create a problem. That sounds like a post-stream detective thing that I will have to do. Definitely not a for right now thing. No idea what that is. I didn't know there was... I've never seen that error before while live streaming. Which is crazy because I have all sorts of problems today that have only come up today. That I had no idea were a problem until they became a today problem. I have a wire in a wall that leads to the new kitchen, and it got covered up by cabinets. And I thought that I needed to see what that wire, which circuit that wire was connected to see if the kitchen people could use that wire for something besides being hidden in a wall behind the cabinets. And I ripped a hole in the wall to test the wire, and the wire isn't getting any power. I don't know how to fix that. I'm not that electrical minded, so that's a problem. And while crawling in the crawl space to try to understand the wiring situation, I slipped on water that shouldn't be down there and found out that one of the toilets is leaking. And while I was trying to work with electric, I was flipping circuit breakers. And I flipped a circuit breaker off and on that belonged to our server machine, which runs the Minecraft server, the Enshrouded server, our personal cloud storage, and none of those broadcast to the public anymore. I don't think it's my server machine. I think it's my modem, but I don't know how to make the modem pass my ports to the open internet anymore. So now all of my services are down. I have so many things wrong just today. Everything went wrong all at once. And also I slipped and fell on an old injury. So lots of bad things all at once. Hi, welcome back, Sans. That was a very short sleep, if that's what you went and did. Crafting of mines is denied. It is, unless you come here to our house and play on the local intranet. Then you can still participate. So I need modem help, but I don't know where to get it. Well, this is a precarious bridge. Hi, very, very far away to fall. Oh God, hi. Don't do anything weird. I'm on a very long bridge, guys. Human! I was going to continue the greening while the server maintenance was going. So we could end then, I suppose. Yeah. Sorry. It was all my fault. I didn't realize flipping the circuit breaker off and on would do something weird with the DHCP lease or something. And now I just cannot get broadcast to the greater internet for whatever reason. It's not like I like options. Good. Good. This is your final and most dangerous challenge. Behold, the gauntlet of deadly terror. Oh, look at all those. There's a little cute Pomeranian looking pup over there dangling on a wire or rope. When I say the word, it will fully activate. Cannons will fire, spikes will swing, blades will slice. Each part will swing violently up and down. Only the tiniest chance of victory will remain. Are you ready? Because I am about to do it. Should we just walk forward? I think we just walk forward. Well, what's the holdup? That puppy wants to bones. I know. He probably wants to bite one of them. Hold up. What hold up? I'm about to activate it now. I'm just gonna move forward. Oh, I cannot walk. Never mind. That doesn't look very activated. Well, this challenge, it seems maybe too easy to defeat the human with. Yeah, we can't use this one. I'm a skeleton with standards. My puzzles are very fair, and my traps are expertly cooked. But this method is too direct. No class at all. Away it goes. Okay, bye. Phew. Oh, they really do love me in their own way. You underestimate Pappy's power. Yeah. And welcome back in Twitch chat as well, Sans. What are you looking at? This was another decisive victory for Papyrus. Yeah. Heh. Heh. Okay. Okay, bye. It's very cute. I felt the danger. I sure did. I don't know what my brother's gonna do now. If I were you, I would make sure I understand blue attacks. Oh, I think I do by now. You dodge blue attacks by doing nothing. What's this? Oh, a non-interactive flower. Welcome to Snowden, aka Snowed In. Get it? Welcome to Snowden Town. Doesn't say town on the sign. There's a shop. Hang on, let's save. The sight of such a friendly town fills you with determination. Everything's determination. We saved. We're still level 5. Oh, hi, bunny person. I like your shop. Looks very cozy. Hello, traveler. How can I help you? Let's buy. Oh my, all sorts of good stuff. Weapon 5 attack. Currently +0, apparently. I thought I had something that gave me some attack. Armor 7 defense. Right now we have +4. It has abs on it. Nice. A bicycle heals 11 hit points twice. You can eat it twice because it's like a popsicle, but there's 2. Or a cinnamon bun heals 22 hit points. It's my own recipe. I like this, although it costs more. Let's buy 1. Yes. And the manly bandana. I don't think we want attack because we're not attacking things, but we do want defense. Okay, Alexa, can we sell? Huh? Sell something? Does this look like a pawn shop? I don't know how it works where you come from, but if I started spending money on old branches and used bandages, I'd be out of business in a jiffy. Take your time. Oh, okay. Can we just chat then? If you're not equipping the stick, you might have a toy knife equipped. I don't remember grabbing a toy knife. Maybe I did. Care to chat? Let's say hello to start. Hiya, welcome to Snowden. I can't remember the last time I saw a fresh face around here. Where did you come from? The capital? You don't look like a tourist. Are you here by yourself? I don't think I should answer that question. You want to know what to do here in Snowden? Grillby's has food and the library has information. If you're tired, you can take a nap at the inn. It's right next door. My sister runs it. And if you're bored, you can sit outside and watch those wacky skeletons do their thing. There's 2 of them. Brothers, I think. They just showed up one day and asserted themselves. Oh my. The town has gotten a lot more interesting since then. Town history? Think back to your history class. A long time ago, monsters lived in the ruins back there in the forest. Long story short, we all decided to leave the ruins and head for the end of the caverns. Along the way, some fuzzy folk decided they liked the cold and set up camp in Snowden. Oh, and don't think about trying to explore the ruins. The door's been locked for ages, so unless you're a ghost or can burrow under the door, forget about it. Interesting. Interesting. Your life. Life is the same as usual. A little claustrophobic, but we all know deep down that freedom is coming, don't we? As long as we got that hope, we can grit our teeth and face the same struggles day after day. That's life, ain't it? Freedom for the monsters? I feel a little bit scared about that, though. That seems a little bit... I don't know. Bye now. Come again sometime. So, I'm not opposed to the monsters feeling like they want freedom, but I'm a little bit nervous as to what happens to the human world if they get that freedom. What are you? Use the box? Yes? Oh, it's that box. We're okay. It's my bank. Oh, it's another bunny. Oh, it's another tiny bunny. Mom says that sleeping can recover your health above your maximum hit points. Oh. What's maximum hit points? Welcome to Snowed Inn. Snowden's premier hotel. I getcha. One night is 80 gold. I'm okay. Well, feel free to come back anytime. Can I just peek in your inn? Oh, literally no. If you're not buying, you can't go up the stairs. Got it. What about this? Don't want to walk to the other side of town? Try the under snow tunnels. They're efficiently laid out. We'll walk for now. Isn't my little cinnamon just the cutest? Buns are so adorable. Teehee. Wait, but you're a anthropomorphic rabbit. Is this not your child on a leash? Is that a different species? Are 2 feet and 4 feet bunnies different from each other? I'm so confused. That lady over there, something about her disturbs me. Yeah, because she's like walking another bunny like it's a different species. That's kind of weird, right? Oh, there's a bear here. Humans put kids on leashes. Why not bunny? I disagree with the humans on leashes thing, though. Like, to me, ever since I was young, when I saw a kid on a leash, I always felt like that's a parent that is not learning how to parent. They're like, you know what? This kid needs boundaries and structure and a parental figure to help them understand the world. But instead, I'm just going to put a restraint on them and not teach them anything. Except if you pull on this restraint, it will pull you back. It feels like a shortcut to not parenting. But I also feel like, too, when I was growing up, there was like a generation of Americans, anyways, that didn't want to be parents. Maybe there's some social conformity issues or some social pressure issues that was like, you got accidentally pregnant, or, you made this happen. You got to suck up the responsibility of it. You got to make this work somehow, or you got to stay in this marriage because if you don't, bad things, or you won't be able to financially survive, whatever the reason. Like a whole generation of parents didn't want to do that. They didn't want kids. They had kids. They loved their kids, but they didn't want to be a parent. That wasn't part of the game that they were really playing. So like they pushed off the kids on the kids' grandparents. They did minimal parenting. They got babysitters. They did latchkey. They worked long hours. They pawned off the kids with TV and TV dinners while they went out to clubs and did other stuff and lived their adult lives and continued to pursue their own passions as though they were still non-parental. And the kids grew up in a certain way. Whole generation, I think, of kids where the majority of them grew up feeling like they weren't really brought into this world with strong desire or passion. They just were granted life by accident. And their family unit was very minimally cohesive at best. Kind of gross. Why breed in that case? Not a fan of either, but it happens. Yeah, I did see plenty of kids on leashes. I think it's part of a greater epidemic. Awful teens tormented a local monster by decorating its tree-like horns. Well, I didn't do that. I only put googly eyes on its eyes. So we started giving that monster presents to make it feel better. I tried, but it refused. It refused my presents. That'd explain how a lot of people behave in American politics if they grew up in families like that. I'm curious what you mean by how they behave, but yeah, I do feel like there's a whole, generally millennials, by and large, the majority of them, I feel like they're not well desired by their parents. Their parents kind of want generally good things for their kids, but they don't want to be strongly involved in their kids' lives. Or they're too involved and sort of like micromanage the experience, which also feels like its own sort of lack of empathy. If you're trying to step in and say, my kid deserves participation trophies and they're entitled certain things, they belong here, they deserve these kudos, they're beyond reproach. That's sort of its own level of disconnection. That's like you like vicariously living through your kids. The parents that put their kids through like sports and beauty pageants and stuff like that to sort of live vicariously through the kid. Both that and the gross disconnection from kids, I feel both of those dehumanizes the child and creates a schism between the parents and the kids. They both prove that you don't believe that that child is a human deserving of strong connection and identity and involvement in the family on equal footing as you, to either ignore them or to impress yourself upon them. Both of those are bad tactics. I remember having a leash, but only when we went super populated places like Disneyland. I've been in populated places when I was little. I was never leashed. I would either, you know, be holding a hand or be held by somebody so I didn't have to walk. Or if they were too tired to hold me anymore, I would walk, but, you know, they'd always be minding me. My parents would just mind me and tell me if I'm walking the wrong direction or something. Bunch of toddlers. Yeah, that's a good point. I was referring to no care for other people, a lack of empathy. I think lack of empathy isn't so much for the kids who were ignored or left alone a lot. Like the millennial era people don't necessarily lack empathy. I feel like they're just, they have so much self-worth issues. It's hard for them to then interact with other people and show care for others when they don't care for themselves enough. But I feel like the next generation after that showed greater level of self-care and greater level of empathy, where boomers cared too much to manipulate America to their own devices. Gen X pulled away and were seen as sort of like the slacker generation where they didn't do enough. Millennials were the sort of generation where it's like everything is FUBAR and there's nothing we can do about it, so why even bother? If I die, who cares? And then after that, Gen Alpha was like, no, we actually do care. So like the pendulum swang back around a bit. Yeah. I'm grossly exaggerating. Obviously, my broad strokes don't accommodate for all the nuance per generation. I was also a super hyperactive hellion as a young child. Oh, okay. It's more of a thing before I was diagnosed ADHD. I would get distracted and wander off. A lot of kids get distracted and wander off, though. That's not an ADHD thing. I was hell on wheels as a kid. I think a lot of kids just run off and do their own thing. That's how kids be. You gotta be mindful as to how to manage a child. They're not going to sit still. They're not going to stay focused. Doesn't matter the kid. Neurotypical kids. Thank you for the ban. Also had a lack of fear of getting lost or hurt. That's kids too. That's neurotypical. Now it's tradition to put the presents underneath a decorated tree. Oh, it's all because of that one weird, like forest deer deity looking thing. Well, isn't that sweet? It's a carefully decorated tree. Some of the presents are addressed from Santa to various locals. Well, that's not sweet. What the heck are you? You look way too happy. Yo, you're a kid too, right? I can tell because you're wearing a striped shirt. Wait, can only kids wear striped shirts? Oh, okay. Oh, they're wearing a striped shirt too. Look at that. Adding to my ADHD, I love a thrill seeking or things like cliff diving. I'm probably to blame for my mom going gray earlier. I think even neurotypical kids make their parents go gray. Adults go gray by and large, I think, because of kids. The Ritual is a pretty good movie. It was okay. I thought it did a pretty good job. Love the monster design. Yeah, I feel like the one thing that The Ritual does well that a lot of modern horror or thrillers do not do well is pacing. The Ritual had this feeling like you were doing a slow world build reveal that led you down a really interesting rabbit hole as to what it is that they were doing with their mythos on the world, and you didn't get anything too fast. I feel like a lot of movies move very quickly toward satisfaction of the audience, and in some movies, satisfaction early is a good thing, and then you build nuance or whatever, or you grow from there if you can. But in horror movies, if you can't slow cook a suspense and make people uneasy, the movie falls flat. I've seen so many horror movies where the reveal is too soon, there's too much too fast, they give you too much information about the negative forces enacting upon your protagonists in the movie. And when that happens too soon, you lose all of the suspense. Now you're just about like squeamishness, putting people through harm and hoping that the audience reacts in a certain way to that. I've watched so many different like ways to cinematically expose people to violence that I'm really bored by that. Everything from like cop and criminal movies, mobster movies, where it's like, you know, guns and knives and stuff like that, cutting and shooting and all the different ways people can be hurt in a sort of a real world sense, all the way to the real supernatural movies where weird things happen to people's bodies. But if it's a physical violence thing, honestly, to me, that's so boring now. I don't care how much viscera or blood or weird ways you're dismembered or tortured or have a weird virus within you or whatever. It really doesn't hit the same way as good suspense, as good psychological, you know, fucking with somebody's mind. That's the stuff that makes a good horror movie. That's the kind of thing you walk away from and you're like afraid afterwards. Nobody's afraid after watching some people get hurt. Well, I guess some people are because they keep making those movies. The horror genre keeps having people getting hurt and hurt and hurt in movies. So somebody out there is still looking at those kind of movies and go, oh my God, that's so scary. But I think by and large, the genre does best when it makes you distrust and fear things that you don't know and can't fathom. We can all fathom pain. I don't think that's that entertaining. It gets boring real quick anyway. Have you watched The Girl on the Train? No, I have not. Most horror fans do not look to be scared during a movie. I feel like the vast majority of horror fans are there for the blood special effects. Like they really love blood and gore and viscera. They like a weird creature design. They like fun creatures. And they also like a laugh. And maybe some sexy stuff too, right? Horror movies have more nudity than other movies do. They have more jokes in some branches of horror than other serious or scary movies do. I feel like horror has like, you have like your Limp Bizkit horror. I'm just going to call it that because fuck Limp Bizkit. You have your Fred Durst Limp Bizkit horror where people are just there to watch violence, nudity, and laughter all in one dark sort of movie idea. But that dark is like Spencer's Gifts Hot Topic dark. It's like mall dark. As dark as you would get in a corporate America, sanitized, you know, I'm not like everybody else. I'm edgy. But by edgy, I mean I have frosted tips on a buzzed haircut and black clothes with white funny sayings on them. Like, good friends help each other move. Best friends help each other move bodies. Bullshit like that. Like fucking basic bitch goth sort of people. People who look like, what's his name? Bobby Flay, but like in all black. Black and white. Because I think like and I hate this because I really wanted them to be a better brand. But, God, what's the brand that's like all black, but they have white, stupid, shitty white text all over everything? Killstar? I think it's Killstar. I wanted to love Killstar, but the more I looked at their shit, especially their men's line of clothing, it's so basic bitch, but black. Like if you don't want to be a polo shirt wearing, golf playing dude, if you don't want to wear sports jerseys, So you're not going to be one of those two guys, and then you're not going to be like the pot smoking Nirvana shirt wearing guy. You basically only have one of like 4 options, right? Those 3, or you go like the mall goth outfit sort of look. And those people love that sort of shitty horror that doesn't make you scared, but you get to see some boobs, you get to see some blood, and you get to have a laugh. And at the end of the movie, you don't come away scared at all. Hate that. I like horror that makes me scared. I want to feel legitimate creeps. I want to walk away from the movie and be afraid to be at home without the lights on. I want it to unsettle me. I want to have nightmares for a week. That's the horror I like to watch. And I don't like white text on black clothes. Yeah. I actually have a cousin who once a week runs a horror movie viewing at a movie theater and does events and guest appearances. He tries to run a gamut, not gambit. Gamut of horror movie types, so it's not all just blood and guts. Good. I feel like A24 does horror right. Most A24 horror that I've watched is more about the experiences of the people and the psychological melting or devolving of somebody, the absolute like ruination of somebody's life, as opposed to just like the threat of violence. Because a threat of violence is something that's very boring and basic. We can all go to like, you know, a dangerous part of town or whatever and feel like we're under threat of violence. We can walk down scary alleys. We can be at the wrong place in the middle of the night. But horror needs to feel like something much darker, much more visceral than all of that. Have you seen 30 Days of Night? I have not. I don't know that one. A24 just has the balls to take risks and do out-of-the-box things that are not certain to make money. True. Yeah, not cookie cutter Hollywood. I feel like A24 is the studio that, while they may fall flat with some of their ideas are more prone to being cinematic history, whereas the sanitized version of what you see in Hollywood movies these days will probably never really be remembered after a couple years. People aren't trying to make movies that will be a legacy, that somebody will want to own, that somebody will want to teach in a how to screenwrite or write screenplays class in, you know, some sort of arts college. Those types of movies are generally all older, and the reason why they are is because we've moved away from that standard, where A24 says, no, let's go back to that. Let's go back to an era where if we get all of the variables right, you will remember this movie 50 years from now because it will hold up as cinematic gold. The color palettes, the symbolism, the dialogue, everything will last. That is a good gamble. It's a vampire movie set in Alaska in a small town during the time where the sun does not come up. Okay. I'm kind of a hard sell on vampire, kind of a hard sell on creature features, but I'd be willing to give it a shot. Lots of legacy classics make little to no money. Yeah, unfortunately. I think you would like it because even when they fight back, it still feels like a loss. I do appreciate that if there is a conflict in a horror movie, if they make it so that the heroes are not too heroic or too powerful. That was my one complaint about Resident Evil 2, is your character starts off being pretty weak against some insurmountable odds, and it felt like pretty intense, but later on you got so well armed, and so they just kept giving you stronger creatures. I just felt like this weird, like, I don't know. Like they just had to keep escalating the game to match your ever-growing strength. It didn't feel very horrific that way. This town doesn't have a mayor, but if there's ever a problem, a skeleton will tell a fish lady about it. Oh, okay. That's politics. Sure it is. Resident Evil got outlandishly cartoonish. I think the problem, this happened in the movies too, is that they wanted the main characters to feel dynamic. But in horror movies, your main characters are generally not dynamic people. Or if they are dynamic, it's usually in a downward direction. You feel like they have everything going for them, and then they lose parts of who they are, whether that's their sanity or like physical acumen. You know, they take a big injury and suddenly they can't walk as fast or can't fight as well, and you watch them devolve. Or in some great movies like where's the one with the is it Contagion, where the young lady like slowly becomes more and more I don't want to spoil the movie, but she takes on some really negative stuff that like impacts her. Or The Fly, especially the remake of The Fly that was with a young Jeff Goldblum. Watching a character devolve and lose traits, lose faculties, that sort of thing is probably the only good dynamism in a horror movie. When somebody gets stronger and stronger and they expose themselves as like being the one or the champion, and they need more and more stronger and crazier monsters thrown at them to prove how epic they're becoming. It's a bad look for horror. I don't think that's horror anymore. That's just like an epic tale, like Steven Universe or something like that, where your character grows and overcomes obstacles and trials and becomes better. But the monsters in like a Resident Evil epic are just creepier than other epic tales, but still an epic tale and not horror at that point. They're a bit animalistic in their methods of attacking and hunting, never get to the point where they feel like a human who just wants to drink blood. Okay. I like the Resident Evil books. The game started okay, the movies are pure Hollywood nonsense. Yeah, I'm not big on the movies. Alan described a good horror movie character. If they live, they most likely lose something along the way. Yeah, that's important. If you come out of a horror movie unscathed, then was it really that horrific? Yeah. I like horror movies that put the characters through something, because that's kind of the point in horror and like deeper sci-fi, right? Is we learn something about the human experience by seeing it go through extremes, whether that's extreme futurism, we pit ourselves against like weird AI or weird simulations, or like the story underlying Ender's Game, like what happens to those kids. If you don't know, go read Ender's Game. It's like a one-day read, even if you're not a big book reader. It's a very, very short book. Better than the movie. Don't watch the movie, read the book first. And horror, they show you, what happens when we're brought to our extreme desperation and fear. Yeah, I like seeing the exposition of human traits of personality and perseverance through the lens of those types of extreme storytelling. I do enjoy how picky you are with your media. Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm glad I don't just come off as like some jackass that just shits on everything. I'm very different, where I can enjoy stuff I know is not super high quality. I don't mind sitting and watching like fluffy stuff, but my time is so precious right now. I can't just sit and watch fluff all the time. I feel like I'm wasting my potential. And right now, I mean, what we're trying to do, like use content creation as a means to, fund our bills in this house, that requires me to do much less passive living. So if I had 5 hours to just sit and watch movies and TV and read books and shit, I wouldn't do that, because that will never, I will never get to the goal where we could pay for bills through content creation. If I do that, I will fail at this task. So part of my demands of my time on myself right now are in order to see this one goal through. If I'm at the point where I am paying for our way of life here through content creation exclusively, I will relax and I will enjoy stuff. But right now, I feel like every hour I spend not doing shit working is an hour that I'm taking away from realizing that goal. Does that make sense? Felt like standing out, so I did this. All right. Well, welcome to the highlighted message life. Oh God, it's all the things that I've been fighting. And then some stuff I haven't fought yet. Hi, everybody. Man, this bunny is toasted. I think you should be cut off. No matter where I go, it's the same menu, the same people. Help, I want new drinks and... Guys. Oh, it's the quote. Nico has a quote from Player Spotted saying this, but the way he read it was very different. I had no idea that was from Undertale. I always wondered why he said he wanted new drinks and hot guys. Here it was this bunny all along. Isn't human food different from monster food? It does things like spoil. And when you eat it, it passes all the way through your whole body. Disgusting. I'd love to try it sometime. Oh, okay, so it's disgusting, but you want it. It's the Axe Doges. I forget your guys' names. We're sentries, but we never get any respect. I wish those skeletons would throw us a bone. We love bones. I believe you. You better watch where you sit down in here, kid. Because that big guy will jump into your lap and give you lots of love and attention. Oh, that seems okay. You mean this big guy? Because he looks really happy to see me. I'm thinking of getting a spiked collar to show off my personality. It makes a statement like, attach a leash to me and take me for a walk, please. Oh, isn't that adorbs? So many dogs in this. Uh-oh. Oh, God. Okay, he just did a weird woof. It's playing poker against itself. It appears to be losing. Oh. Both sides of the game? That sucks. I put out a line for some girls today. Someone told me that there are plenty of fish in the sea. Well, I'm taking that seriously. I'm literally gonna make out with a fish. Aren't you a fish? You kind of look like a fish. You both look like fish. You look like a bird. Maybe this is a bird. Those dogs are part of the Royal Guard, the elite military group led by Undine. She's rude, loud, and beats up everybody who gets in the way. It's no wonder all the kids want to be like her when they grow up. Sure. I'll talk to the bartender in just a sec. Who are you over here? The capital's getting pretty crowded, so I heard they're going to start moving here. I don't want to see the erasure of our local culture. Wow, what a NIMBY. But I definitely want to see some city slickers slip onto their butts. Rude. The jukebox is broken. Wait, what music are we listening to right now then? If not the in-game jukebox music. Gribbs said that he'd offer you a glass of water, but he doesn't touch the stuff. Oh, wait, is that narration? Because it has the asterisk there. Okay. Okay, so no water. Okay, thanks. It's really fun talking to all the villains I was fighting earlier. Everyone is always laughing and cracking jokes, trying to forget our modern crises. I guess the star doesn't mean it's asterisk. Or asterisk doesn't mean it's narration. I'm not sure why. It seemed like that person was not talking about themselves, though, unless they were talking in third person about themselves. Dreariness, crowding, lack of sunlight. I would join them, but just not very funny. Okay. Thanks, little mouse thing. Hi. We all know the underground has problems, but we smile anyway. Why? We can't do anything, so why be morose about it? I mean, you're wearing a mask, so I don't know if you're actually smiling. Library. Why is there an extra B in library? All these monsters are so cute. Welcome to the library. Yes, I know the sign is misspelled. Oh, okay. At least you know. I love working on the newspaper. There's so little to report that we just fill it with comics and games. Well, aren't you all precious? You're so wholesome. When I was younger, my teachers gave me word searches when they ran out of assignments. I thought they were a waste of time. But look at me now. I'm the #1 word search creator in the entire underground. I didn't even see you there. Hello, guy. That look in your eye. You're someone that has difficulty solving junior jumble, aren't you? Yes. I could lie and say yes. Love, hope, compassion. This is what people say monster souls are made out of. But the absolute nature of soul is unknown. After all, humans have proven their souls don't need these things to exist. Ooh, rude. Monster History Part 4. Oh, I'm reading these backwards, aren't I? Fearing the humans no longer, we moved out of our old city, home. We braved harsh cold, damp swampland and searing heat until we reached what we now call our capital. New home. Again, our king is really bad at names. Okay, let's read from the beginning. It's a school report about monster funerals. Monster funerals, technically speaking, are cool as heck. When monsters get old and kick the bucket, they turn into dust. At funerals, we take that dust and spread it on that person's favorite thing. Then their essence will live on in that thing. Am I at the page minimum yet? I'm kind of sick of writing this. Cute. Cute. While monsters are mostly made of magic, human beings are mostly made of water. Humans, with their physical forms, are far stronger than us. Are they? But they will never know the joy of expressing themselves through magic. They'll never get a bullet pattern birthday card. Bullet pattern birthday card? What does bullet pattern mean? Okay. Here I am, writing this book. A person comes in and picks up the book. They start reading it. Oh, sorry, I'm still writing that one. Wait, somebody's actively writing that book? Interesting. Because they are made of magic, monsters' bodies are attuned to their soul. If a monster doesn't want to fight, its defenses will weaken. And the crueler the intentions of our enemies, the more their attacks will hurt us. Therefore, if a being with a powerful soul struck with the desire to kill... let's end the chapter here. Man, these poor monsters. I want to keep going, but it's 5. I should probably save. And we keep going. Well, I'm not quite at... Nah, I should probably save. Tomorrow's going to be a long day. Long day. Go back to the save point here. Sight of such a friendly town fills you with determination. Well, this has been really lovely. These monsters are so cute and kind and sweet, and I don't know what to say. The game is so not combative. There's some bullet hell dodging, but I've killed like, I don't know, 2 things by accident, but it's such a passive and kind and cute game with so much, like, all the characters are so wholesome in so many different ways. I don't really feel like there's an antagonism. I don't feel like there's a negative opposing force that drives me, except the fact that I want to go home, I guess, so that the monsters will, like, leave me alone, but all the monsters really just want me to stay here. So maybe that's kind of insidious You know, it feels like fae folk that just want you to live with them forever until you die because they're immortal and they forget that you are. I kind of get that vibe with this game, but I don't know because we're so early on still. Wait, since we missed yesterday, shouldn't today be a double stream? Troa, if I didn't have school to prepare for, I would absolutely stay up. But unfortunately, the kiddos need to be ready and be driven there, and then I clock into a day job. Maybe one day we'll live in a world where I can just hang out with you all. Level 5 is way more than 2 things. Way more than 2 things? Yeah. Believe me, if I could make my own schedule up, it'd be like, and if only I could send the kids, I don't know, make their own breakfast, send them on a bus. We've talked about it. We like that we have to drive the kids to school as long as they enjoy spending time with us. But if they're really like sick of Oz and me and they're really just tapped out because they're that age where they're like, God, mom and dad are like the lamest thing ever, and they'd rather be on the bus because their friends are on the bus, we don't mind them being on the bus. But we're not there yet. They actually really like us, which is weird. Hard to understand. All right. You are on Kick, Trovo, Instagram, and YouTube. We're killing the stream now. Twitch, we're going to find somebody to raid out to, so you all please hang on while we find a likely person to raid to. I have all these. This is such a badly set up situation here. There we go. Okay, now I can see people the way I'm supposed to. All right. For everybody whose stream is ending right now, find me again early Thursday, late Wednesday, depending on your time zone. That'll be my next stream, another discourse night. We should be getting back into Mist Uru again. We're doing the epilogue part of the game now. That should be next early Sunday, late Saturday. And then this one will be a week from this time zone if you're here specifically for Undertale stuff. Thanks for being here. I love your faces. It's been weird not having you here yesterday and just today that I feel like I'm missing an important aspect of my week. It feels like my balance is off when I don't get to stream as much as I want to. So just know that you're all integral parts of my life and my direction going forward. And that when I don't get as much of you as I'm used to, it feels weird. And I would stay up and keep streaming if I didn't have other responsibilities. So maybe sometime. All right. For everybody who's leaving right now, if you're safe, fed, and loved, make sure someone out there is too, please. I will see you all very soon. In the meantime, go cyberstalk me. Watch all my clips. Hit like and follow and sub on every platform you can find me on, because I'm trying to grow this, and the more people I can find to watch and what's the word I'm looking for? Interact with all of my posts, then the less pressure I have on any one platform or any one subscriber or supporter. The wider the net cast, the more likely we are to succeed at this. So you can help by doing all those engagement things that streamers do ask you to do to keep us alive and going. All right. Love your faces. I'll see you all very soon. Bye.